Hello, and welcome back to Roll For It, where favorite YouTubers and streamers get together to play some lovely tabletop RPGs. Of course, today we're playing Blades in the Dark, Shadow of Doskvol. You can see the logo down there for the moment before it gets covered again. We will be continuing off from where we left last week. So, firstly, we have some announcements. Today, of course, our supporter, thank you for paying the majority of our cat cost, is Jofu, and cat cost plus a doggo now. Someone's ruined it.
Made it infinitely better, I think you'll find.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's ruined. I think that just adds to
improvement.
The betterment. Now we have
like a lot of cats, a dog,
cats,
and a cactus.
bunnies, and doggies. Oh my.
And a cactus.
Yeah. I might be getting a snake at some point.
That's kind of cool.
So,
let's hope I can keep it alive better than I can keep alive plants.
That's Jofu. So, Jofu, thank you very much for supporting us and making it possible to do that. Thank you. Also, we have a load of stuff coming on the Patreon. We have hero tier name submissions and monthly recap coming this week, so look out for those. We'll also have, faction turns of Blades in the Dark and a few other things. Reminder that RollCon is coming up very, very soon. It's coming up at the end of the month. It's like just 2 weeks and a bit away. Less than 3 weeks now. If you are coming to the live meetup thing where we'll be having a buffet that you do not need to pay for, but you will need to buy drinks because we're not going to pay to get you drunk. That's your job. Then please let us know, like RSVP, because we need to know so that we can tell the venue how many people are going to be there. Otherwise, they might be like, you're number 31. They said 30. We can't let you in because fire safety or something. So please RSVP if you are going to be there or think you're going to be there. We don't mind having a few less people, but a few more people might be a problem for the venue. So if you think you're going to be there, then RSVP, let us know. That'd be very much appreciated.
And I think that you have like basically maybe 2 weeks to
I think a little less than that because I'd like
plans.
to give time to like let the venue know with due time. So ideally the end of the week if you can, everyone. But also Star Games will be coming up. We'll have more details about the exact lineup for that, but there's lots of fun stuff that'll be happening with that. Our charity stream on the Saturday the 30th, 8 hour long, double length Star Games, supporting Medicine Sans Frontier, Dogs Without Borders, and it will be interesting. We have 5 player characters this time around, so it's going to be fun. And then on the 31st we have, we have a one-shot, which is also 8 hours long and should be also a whole bundle of fun. So check out that to look out for those. And they do start earlier. They start at the time of, is it 2 p.m.?
I think it's 2 p.m.
Yeah, because 2 p.m., 4
2 to
hours,
6
then
or
our
2 to
normal
10
start
p.m.
time, and then 4 hours again. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we changed things up this year. It's going to be different than last year. Last year we had a lot of segments. This year we have less segments, but we'll still have breaks and things of that sort. But they will be 8 hours each day, so you get 16 hours of content. It will be amazing and lots of fun. And we also made it a little bit more simpler on our cast too, so that they have more time to chill. So it's not so crazy. Because it was a little
time you can't burn down Chester Zoo.
We didn't do it, we swear.
Really? You go to Chester Zoo and then later it just magically burns down.
Just saying, week after, people should probably not visit Chester Zoo.
Or if you do carry a fire extinguisher. So...
Yeah, and I think this year because we changed it up, we'll be doing different things with the cast, and probably won't be streaming it, but we'll see.
So, that will be coming up shortly. We'll be spamming you with all the announcements and knowledge and insider information close to the time, but it's getting very close now, and so please look out for that and get hyped. Right, any other announcements? I don't think there are. Okay. Hi, welcome to Blades in the Dark. It's not Vampire the Masquerade, but we're still going to touch on some pretty dark subjects and so on. And also our characters can be pretty interesting. Sometimes they will do occasionally evil things. Remember, of course, that people are playing characters. They aren't being the person themselves. You don't need to take anything out against the people that the characters are doing. And also, if there is anything that's problematic for you, feel free to skip a little bit, take a mute, go off, get a cup of tea or whatever. Just remember to take care of yourself. So, with that said, we're going to open back to Crowsfoot. But we're going to open back up with everything's fast-forwarding a little bit. People are scurrying around at 4 times speed. Crows are flying past. Ships are sailing. as over the next week, the crew advance in tier. Now, when you advance in tier, you get stash equal to your tier +2. So all of you mark down 3 in your stash. So that would be, I think none of you put any in stash to begin with, so you'll have 3 on the first line now. Well done. Your quality of your lifestyle is
3 in our
getting
personal
vaguely
stash
closer.
or
Yep,
our
personal stash, not coin.
Ooh.
This is effectively, because your tier has gone up and you're like the upper echelons of your group, you're admittedly the only people in your group, but
Time to go gambling. That's all I'm hearing.
and specifically, your stash is not liquid assets, though. It's more akin to clothing, places you live, things you own, influence you have. You can turn stash back into coin,
You can
but
still
it's every
gamble all
2
that away.
stash. Yeah, you can turn stash back into coin, but it's every 2 stash turns into 1 coin, because selling off your stuff only gets you half the amount of money. So you can use it as coin if you wish, but it also has its advantage. Like, for instance, if you tried to get in somewhere fancy, I will ask for your quality of life as a roll, which is effectively clicking stash. And since none of you have a full mark in stash yet, you would be rolling 0 dice.
We are all broke.
You are all pretty broke, yes. But your money has been invested wisely in upping your group. So, with that said, we're actually going to do something slightly different. Firstly, we're going to open it up with Ruby being in the group's lair as Papa, Marion, and Edwine get back from the last score, and then we're going to do a short time skip, which is going to involve another faction turn. Now, those of you who've watched some of the GM content, we have faction turns that kind of inform how the factions are performing and what they're doing in between several scores. So between every episode, we tend to do a faction turn, and we're going to do one in game this time. So to begin with, we're just going to dive back in with Ruby. You are absolutely knackered. You went through a lot with that ghost. And you are just about getting back up. Your legs are still a little shaky when you hear Marin, Papa, and Edwine mooring up the boat outside and going back into your base. It's quite
I think there's
late.
like a faint smell of smoke on us, like after you've spent a lot of time by a campfire.
It's faint because they're still mooring up the boat.
Whenever-
If you were closer to them.
Yeah, whenever everyone
Drifts
comes
in.
in. She'll probably just be sitting in like a chair or something like that.
Sure.
And
Okay,
everyone
as they walk in, you're sitting in a chair. You notice that between them all, they have been shot, stabbed, exposed to a lot of smoke, and generally look a lot worse for wear.
I hope they look worse than you.
Does dead count as worse?
What? I thought you just had to sink the ship, not kill them all.
It wasn't part of the plan, but he did shoot me.
It tends to stop any reasonable communication.
There was a bit of an escalation.
She points at the hole in her jacket. I was shot. I retaliated.
Are you all right?
I'll be fine.
She helped me out.
I'll walk over to Marin and look to see if she's actually okay, or if she's
at the time I think
I'm
she had
fine.
level-
She's just blood is coming out.
Yeah, at the
She had
time,
level
it was
2
level
harm?
2 harm, so it's it was a penetrating gunshot wound.
Yeah, there's some blood welling up. She's patted it, shoved her scarf in there or something.
Yeah, I'll grab something and put pressure on it. And I'm like, I think you need someone to do something here. This doesn't look fine.
Turns to Edwine.
Yeah, I'm cracking my knuckles yeah, no, I've got my work cut out for me. Let's just get to the workshop medical thing.
Of course. On the plus side, we did set their boat on fire, so I don't think they'll be sailing away anytime soon. Oh, and we got this. And she drops whatever stuff they looted from it and just clatter, clatter, clatter on the ground. Some blood on
Ruby
it.
will she's still pretty exhausted, so normally she'd be scrounging in it pretty quickly, but she's still kind of slow and kind of looks through the stuff. What did they bring back? What was their haul? It's haul time. We're doing an unboxing video now.
6 coin equivalent, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so they got 6 coin worth of stuff. So some of that was coin, some of it was valuables and miscellaneous goods that could be sold. So there's probably
Oh my gosh,
a few guns, some...
I'm imagining Marin wearing like, you know, the Death Stranding's backpacks with all the stuff on it, like trying to balance.
Yeah, no, like they can't even carry a lot of very easily. Like they had to chuck it in the boat, and they took several trips to dump it into the boat. So they were dumping back into smoke to do it. And so
that's what I'm thinking of that.
Right now,
yeah. So I like look through the things. I'm like, you all, did you take everything that was on the boat?
Yes. Or Edwine did.
Yeah, everything that wasn't nailed down and some
On
things that
fire.
were.
Nice. And she just starts like going through it all and like,
You just dump out a bag of nails.
and she's just like, this is handy. And she's like sorting them.
So your rest has given you a bit more energy.
I think so.
Okay.
I
well,
never did anything like that before. It was what more training than I thought it would be.
Well, no more wrestling with ghosts. Okay?
I'll try.
Okay.
Speaking of which, do we make a decision on what we want to do with it?
Yes.
I still think we should keep it.
It might be difficult. I think the Red Sashers have it.
You gave it to him.
If are we talking about the ghost?
Yeah,
Well,
we
I think-
did.
You were there.
Yeah, we
they
sold
give-
the ghost.
You, were
You
actually
may have
there.
been a little
You were
tired,
very
but
Okay.
tired at the time, but you were present and involved in that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we sold the ghost.
Okay.
yeah, we got some coin and another status with the Red Sashes.
Yeah, you were
Okay,
like
cool.
this far away from being reputation 3 with them.
I was blacked out, exhausted.
You were just like, you know, memories? I'm not going to like cycle those into long term. We can chuck those.
Yeah, my brain was like, I'm in shutdown mode. Okay.
If you want, we can do our time skip then.
Take back. She never said that.
I would like to point out very, very quickly. Marin, exactly which order did the shooting happen in?
Marin is like about to walk away, turns around. They shot me. I retaliated in kind. Well, not in kind. I didn't shoot them.
You
I
killed
wasn't
them.
intending to kill them, but sometimes instinct takes over.
Okay. How often does instinct take over?
I think you just hear like a screech of an osprey like outside and then a slight splash in the water. Marin like wipes her mouth and swallows. Not often. In situations where I'm in peril, typically. Lives are at stake. It's mine or theirs.
I'm not going to blame you for what you did, but there are limits. There's an unwritten code. We've got to keep our heads down as well. It's a whole thing, and the bells.
I understand. Ghosts are dangerous. So are the spirit wardens. I don't intentionally kill people. But I'm not going to trade my life for theirs. Or
That's
yours.
the last thing I want. Everyone's worked very hard, and to have a death on this crew would be unfathomable. We'll stick with how things are, but I suppose it's just a personal preference not to have blood on my hands or collar.
To be fair, the blood isn't on your hands. It's on my
I was
shoulder.
just going to say that. What if someone else is doing the dirty work? You just happen
Oh.
to be there?
Any of our hands. Just want to make sure you're all safe.
Does that mean
And
we're not
killing the other
poisoning things?
folk so that they can die for their cause is as good a way as any. I'm just worried.
Getting
I
people killed does
understand.
attract the wrong kind of attention.
We've
On the
already
plus
got
side, I think the
quite a
bodies
bit of
are gone.
attention.
Or they're in the hands of the Leviathans now.
Why would they be in the hands of the Leviathan?
We sunk the barge.
Oh, right.
They don't come in that close, do they? They're inside the lightning barrier.
I
It
don't
depends
know.
the way the tide's going. I didn't check where that was.
No one knows anything about them except the hunters, and even they are hunting a prey they barely understand. We should learn more. Marin's like smiling, but it's not reaching her eyes.
Marin starts a clock up here, just goes tick, 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 tick. Understand more.
Meet the Leviathans.
How would you
Become
propose
a
we find that?
Leviathan. That's her final goal, I think.
How would you propose we do that?
I don't know.
Hunters that were spending their entire lives doing that.
Hmm.
I don't think we have time.
I don't think it sounds particularly safe.
Most fun things
Is
are.
anything we do particularly safe? I kind of like point at what you all look like right now.
We started by smuggling. That felt particularly safe. In comparison.
Yeah, what happened to that? I thought that was what we were going to do. I mean, that's our expertise, but now we're taking on jobs, all kind of things.
Well, sometimes we push things a little because it makes more money, and the factions we want to be friends with have more things to do than move stuff from place to place.
We branched out. It's logical business acquisitions.
I
Just have
suppose
to be
so.
careful how far we branch, or we might get on the wrong side of people already occupying those branches.
Well, that's when you make sure that their branches become your branches. And this tree analogy doesn't go much further, but
I still think that we should pick up some of those stragglers.
Recruit
the
some
crows.
individuals.
Yeah. They're going to be looking for some work. We can
Oh,
put
yeah,
them
we
definitely
right
need
to
to-
work.
We definitely need to
Some of
work
them-
on our numbers. We're stretched a bit thin right now.
Some of them can do some jobs that we're not very talented at. Maybe something like this. I kind of like point at what you guys are doing.
and depending on how loyal they are to which person, they might be interested in learning exactly what happened to their ex-leader.
If they believe you.
If it
That
comes from the
sounds
red
like someone
sashes.
wants to do an acquire an asset downtime action.
Perhaps. But yes, I think you're right.
In the meantime, I'm still bleeding. Edwine?
Right, yes, come on.
I'm still like holding your
Yeah.
impression.
Marin like goes into your workshop.
Okay.
It's like, it's
Can you
fine,
use
it's
that
fine. You
bottle?
won't die. Just
Don't use that bottle.
Well,
You
man.
used it on me that one time and it stung.
I'll
is
use
weakness
whatever I
leading
need
to
to use to fix your bloody wounds.
Brace
Ow.
yourself.
That hurts.
Are you
As
sure?
you-
You don't sound sure.
As you do this, you hear from behind you near the doorway. Yes, it does look rather nasty.
Who is it? Do we recognize them?
You turn around. There is a gentleman there. He's about 6'2", dark hair held behind his head in a ponytail, long trench coat with a silver-topped cane, dark waistcoat and trousers. And as you try and focus in on his face, it's almost like your eyes slide just off to the side as you try and fully get to grips with like recognizing the face. As soon as you try, you recognize it's a person that's talking to you, but any details seem to just slide off of your memory.
We need to get a secret lair.
So we don't recognize this
You
person.
don't recognize him.
Who the bloody hell are you? That's what I say to him.
Sorry, where are my manners? My name is Lord Scurlock, and I would like to employ you.
Hello,
What kind
Lord
of job?
Scurlock.
Sorry, what did you say?
For what kind of job?
A group will be contacting you in the next week to be able to do some work for them. I've made
He
arrangements.
says we want to do it.
You might not, in which case that's fine. but a group will be contacting you. If you choose to take them up on their job, they will probably ask for more jobs. They have an agenda they wish to be fulfilled.
Everybody has an agenda.
Precisely.
And
What's
we
yours?
would be most pleased to help people with their agendas. Do you have any information on exactly what your interests are and perhaps this other group? I'd love to know.
Well, I'm sure they can explain things themselves. My agenda, however, is to, as you said, you are smugglers. And you rather get back to smuggling?
So, you've been here a little while.
I didn't want to interrupt. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to overhear. But you do go by reputation anyway. I wish
What'd
for
you say
something
your
to
name
be
was again?
Lord Scurlock.
Lord Scurlock.
And you are Mercy, if I'm correct.
They call me Ruby.
Ruby, then. I'm sorry. I wish for something to be conveyed, moved from one place to another.
How does he know my name? That's what she says in her head.
You think his gaze is upon you at that point. It's still very hard to tell exactly who he is or where he's looking, because trying to focus on his face just seems to just immediately leave your memory in your mind. But you're pretty sure he looks as you think about him. I wish for something to be conveyed. Yeah?
Is there like an insight check of some sort? Is that study?
Study, if you wish to study him over a little period, sure. You could also attune if you wish to think there's something weird going on, or you could maybe use another thing.
Can I do the attune?
You may indeed.
Because Ruby's super suspect now, and he also knows her name, so now she's like staring at him.
Sure. It will be limited.
Okay.
Controlled, because you're in a very controlled situation right now.
And is it controlled, limited? And I don't think I'm going to spend anything on this because it's just. Oh yeah. It's really just an insight check, pretty much. Ooh, 5.
5. It is limited, so you get a very small portion of information, but there is a side effect. So part of that will be you realize as you try and focus on his face that something very odd is happening here. That you are actually putting effort into this. And as you reach out with the ghost field and just see if there's anything particularly odd, like the ghost field emanates around him or reacts to him in some way. The ghost field reacts to everyone at least a little bit because everyone has a soul. No reflection. Nothing.
What the?
It might be why he was so good at hiding, but you're not sure. You're also not pushing particularly hard right now. Being a social setting, you're being tired. The side effect, however, is he definitely locks eyes on you. Great. You cannot get a bead on his face, but you know he just locked eyes with you. And you swear there was a wink.
Creepy. Shit. Okay. I keep that to myself for now.
As I was saying, I would like something to be conveyed from them to me. And I have made sure that if you wish to take a job with them, the job will be forthcoming. And should you get into close enough to be able to get what I need, I'll make sure you're paid handsomely for
it. These people we're getting a job from, are you with them or are we screwing them over for you?
I'm not with them. I don't particularly wish to see it as screwing them over, but they do have something I would like brought to me.
So it's that they want something taken from A to B and you want us to divert it to C?
No. They want you to take something from A to B, and when they trust you enough, they'll probably have you take something from B to C. When you know where C is, I would like you to take something from C to me.
Alright.
You want us to deliver a package to them? And then later steal something from them.
Something like that, except I don't want you to deliver a package to them. I've just made sure circumstances where they will probably wish to enlist your help. And as he's saying this, he's gesturing with the cane.
Where exactly are you a lord of?
Lord of?
Hey, you said your name was Lord. That means you
A
like
hereditary
own some land or
title.
something, right?
Well, I do own some land. But land these days is mostly in the Deathlands and quite worthless. I do own some land in the city.
Very
So what's the
jealous.
land called?
I will double check the exact name, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it's called. But I want
Probably
to check.
Doskvol.
Yeah. Scurlock Manor. I have a manor in 6 towers and various other interests across the city.
Which one is it?
He has a dilapidated manor house in 6 towers. 6 towers being a
6.
district. If we bring up the map...
6, what was it?
6 towers. It's not in...
6 towers, okay.
Not in Crow's Foot. It's in Doskvol, off to the side, I believe.
Yeah, that's the fancy bit, right?
I think Six Towers is the one that used to be fancy and has
Yeah.
since gone downhill.
Yeah, because he said it's dilapidated. Or whatever.
Yeah, so it's near Charter Hall, which is effectively where like the Imperial University is based. It's kind of the opposite of gentrification. It's gone downhill a bit. It's not quite Brightstone, which is really nice, but it's...
I mean, it's nicer
fine.
than Crow's Foot, but
nicer
it's
than
not
Crow's Foot.
like...
Yeah. It's better than
it's
Crow's
not
Foot, it's better than
Charter Hall
Char
nice.
Hollow, it's better than the Docks, it's better than Coleridge, but it's not Brightstone, it's not, White Crown.
I just realized they've got a backup lightning barrier around Charter Hall. That's neat.
Yeah, I believe that's where the university is. I'll have to double check for you, though.
So if the barrier does fail, they're still fine in there.
I'm pretty sure that's where the university that made and has the engineers and Sparkwright Guild who do the lightning barriers are based. I think they-
Being the
they
ones
might
that made
be-
it, they are like, we need to have a second one of these.
Mhm.
I know how those things work. They don't. We gotta have another one.
But yeah, you might know the manor house by reputation. It is dilapidated.
Okay, so we have heard of them.
What's the name of the group of people that you want us to do a job for then?
I'm sure they'll make themselves known to you.
How we know? We get a lot of jobs.
Yeah, we've had quite a few factions talking to us recently. It'll be very awkward if the wrong one comes to us first and we think that's the one, and then another one, and then we don't know which, and we have to come back to you.
What
Just tell us
Ed
the
Wine
name.
said.
Well, I'm sure that although we do get a lot of jobs, we can use our insight and figure out exactly which ones are
I'm pretty sure
proprietors of them.
that Papa is correct here. Do you prefer Papa, or I could use your given name?
You can use Pepper. Thank you very much.
Papa is correct here. It will be the one that is a little more weird than your normal jobs. Considering your recent excursions with the spirit in Crow's Foot, I thought you might be well placed.
Of course. I would love to know if we're going to be hearing from you again, or the next time we meet will be when we deliver this thing to you.
It will be when the time is right. I'll make sure I come to your acquaintance again.
That would be most wonderful. I love your sense of style.
Thank you. Considers me just getting in on the ground floor on what could be a very profitable relationship.
I like the sounds of that.
I think you would be able to do good work for these people, and while I have nothing against them, I would much rather pay you first and have you on my side. And he pulls out from his pocket a coin. Not a bag equivalent to a coin, it is a coin. About this big and has a very high gold content. And just lays it down on your table.
Well, you're expecting us to agree to your terms within this meeting?
You don't know exactly what the job would involve, and to be honest, I don't know fully either yet. It would be unfair of me to lock you into a job in which you didn't know what the outcome might be. Consider this me just laying down a marker that you would work for me over them, provided the terms are favorable.
I think those are very reasonable expectations.
Thank you. But I would also like to hear from the rest of your group on this. As much as you might be the most eloquent one for high society here.
Papa is not looking at anything but the coin. He's just staring at it.
By the way, good use of the coin emote there, chat.
Marin has stared at him this entire time, and at least we as the audience have not seen her blink.
Do you wish to attune?
No, I don't think so. Can I?
You can study if you want.
Can I hunt him?
You can study. You wouldn't be able to hunt him, really, because he's here.
Yeah.
You can study if you want. It would be limited control, so there's no real outcome to it other than maybe like a small note or something.
I could try study.
For her, I will make a roll just because, but the thing that she is looking at, it's 0 dice whether I attune or I study. But what she's looking for is if I were hunting, like if it came into some sort of fight or confrontation, like what do I need to be aware of?
Okay, that would probably be a study as effectively a set of action for what would be a hunt or something.
Yeah.
Again, limited, controlled, yeah, like there's the only outcome of this is going to be like a slight social note or something. It won't be any particularly bad effect. Two, okay. 2?
Yeah, I have nothing in study.
He is being very controlled in what he's saying and his movements and so on. It's hard to get a grip on anything about him because everything here is cultivated.
She doesn't like it. Provided the terms are favorable, we will tend to work for the most favorable terms.
Very reasonable proposition.
Like you said, we know very little about you, the job, or this other group. But we will certainly take it under consideration. And I'm bleeding, so I'm going to leave now.
My apologies for keeping you. Unfortunately, my talents do not lie in that area.
So she sort of like goes and walks where she was continuing to walk this entire time.
Yeah, I felt we were in the doorway to the workshop, and then this happened, and we're like, gonna put pressure on this while we talk. I do want to do a study because I'm immediately scared and intrigued by this person.
Okay, make a study. Limited controlled.
While we're talking, I just
while they're both doing that, I'll give him some sass.
Well, I imagine this study has been going on throughout the conversation to really get a full study on him. Thor. Okay. Nice. Yeah. As he's talking, you do get a very strong sense this is 100% cultivated. But more worryingly is that while he is so cultivated, every single movement, every motion, none of them are the normal motions you expect from someone who is just talking. Like, it isn't, I would gesture as I talk without thinking about the gesture. He doesn't frown without wanting to frown. He doesn't even maybe blink without deliberately choosing to blink. Every motion is chosen. There are no involuntary motions.
Here's a key one. Is he only breathing in order to speak?
No, he seems to be breathing normally.
Okay, he's breathing still. This is a living person. It's a
very even breathing, but yes.
Right. The body is alive. That's the only thing established there.
Or it could be fake. Like, again, control limited.
True.
And he is very good at what he does. But every movement he's making is totally with 100% understanding what he's doing.
There's some supernatural gubbins going on. There's probably enough to determine that, right?
That would
like certain things that the human body does, it just does, and this one isn't doing all of them.
No, it's doing them.
Well, it's breathing, but it's not like blinking.
Oh, it is. But he's choosing to blink.
Yeah, it's blinking on like a regular schedule instead of in the natural way that your eyes will be like, time to blink now.
Yep.
Unlike Marin, who you realize like she has to remind herself to blink. Like, oh, I haven't done that.
I think the consequence of that is He catches Edwin staring.
Yeah, there's kind of a nervous, somewhat fearful, but also intrigued look going on. It's like,
If you're going to stare, Marin, I can't help with the wound, but I can help with one thing. May I? He puts his cane into his other hand and reaches out towards you, towards where you seem to have been shot in the chest.
May you what?
I would need to touch the wound.
She actually makes a slightly concerned face. Yes.
Just puts 2 fingers and a thumb on either side of the wound, pulls them away. In his hand, he has a small metal ball.
Oh.
that's a neat trick.
Hands it to Edwin.
Wonderful.
You can mark an extra tick on your healing clock if you have one.
Cool. I mean, I filled it up last time, but sure.
If you've got any further wounds, you would get
we're
extra tick.
backtracked because we did our downtime actions at the end of last episode.
Yeah,
So.
this is effectively just kind of backtracking, but you can just add a tick. If you have any wounds whatsoever, you can just add a tick.
I do. I have a bruised rib.
In which case, adds to it.
Because I got shot and I think I also got stabbed. I don't remember. There was a lot that happened.
You got shot. I think you got stabbed and you fell hard against something and you broke a rib or something.
There's,
Might have been
I think
smoke
I got
inhalation.
hit by a plank with a nail in
Oh,
it.
yeah,
hit the
yeah,
plank
you
and
managed to
reduced it
avoid that.
2 or something, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot
mess.
of... Anyway, anyway, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you will get back to things. Good luck with searching for your boat.
Thank you.
He turns and he leaves.
Examine the bullet.
As soon as I'm
It's
certain he's
metal.
actually gone,
Mhm.
I'll be like,
He goes out of line of sight. And as soon as he's out of line of sight, you realize you can't hear him leaving.
Okay.
I think I
Oh, wait.
shuffle over to the door and look, and like, is he just stood here still?
There's no one there. But his footsteps don't make sound.
Whenever Edwine
We need a
comes
secret
back,
lair.
I'm
I
like,
agree. However, that man seemed rather generous. So
I
nice.
It
think
was unnerving.
A little
And I
suspicious.
am unnerving.
he was definitely hiding something. I tell you, I tried to read into him. Something weird going on, that's for sure.
There's something very strange going on with him.
We don't want to be rude to our guests. We need to be able to trust the people that arrive at our door.
I don't trust anyone who arrives at our door. I think you shouldn't either.
He arrived at our door with money and a proposition, though.
You do get 1 coin, which you may add to your group.
4 even did a job. You know what that means.
He's
Something
buying
dangerous.
us.
Who isn't?
But he's
5
buying us
seconds ago,
off
you were
of someone
talking about
else.
how you didn't want to do those types of jobs, and now you change your mind after seeing something shiny. Ain't like you're gonna keep it that long anyway.
He's buying us off of someone else. People we haven't even met yet. So I suppose next time a new group of people comes to us with a job, we'll get a funny feeling and we'll know if we want to screw them over or not.
Yes. We can decide which seems like the best option on the way. I think it's rather clever going ahead of time so we have time to prepare, and there's always this in our back pocket. This is a good deal for us.
Good deal made by a concerning person.
Papa, you are incredibly easily swayed by coin and manners.
Well, they're all that matter, really, aren't they?
No, not at all.
We can disagree.
This is Ruby just like chuckling in the corner.
I should
more
remind
so-
everyone that he knew about Roric.
He knew our names.
At least he knew
He
he'd been
knows a
messing
lot.
around with ghosts. He knows things that cannot be known.
I would like to remind you that the ghost did make a building collapse, so that one might not be the hardest to track down. And we've
True.
been not making any strong efforts to hide our names.
Speak
All
for
right,
yourself.
maybe he just set this whole thing up to seem like there's something weird going on with him by being very careful about.
Oh no,
the
there was
information he
absolutely something
gathers.
going
but-
weird with him, but
Yes, that's why.
these are all explainable by well-funded research, and if he's able to just dole out coin on a whim, then
I don't think it's just that. There's something else going on. I am intrigued, but I should also be cautious.
I want to learn how to do it. Whatever it was that he was doing. It was making it hard to see him. It's strange.
Yeah, what did he look
Yes.
like?
Is that what it was?
Now you think about
Can
it,
see through
you
it.
can still vaguely remember the ponytail, the dark hair, but you're not certain if it was very dark brown or black. You can pretty decently remember his clothing, his cane, but anytime you try and linger on any facial features,
I remember a lot about him, but something's just, it's like it isn't in my memory. It's strange.
We should be
Well
careful about
dressed.
dealing with him, but also we should be careful about getting on the wrong side of him because we'll probably know if we don't do exactly what he wants. Yeah, we just have to do the job, and then maybe he'll leave us alone.
Seems to be what we've been doing with other people. Just do the jobs. Hopefully they leave us alone. If we don't make them mad. So what's next on the trail? You said you didn't want to do any of those types of jobs, so I'm guessing we're not poisoning the fellows?
I think
I
that
don't-
ship sailed anyway.
What happened?
Things have been moving with the crows and the land blacks. I think they're onto other things now.
All right. Makes it easier for us.
one of the consequences from the last mission that you weren't here for, Maggie, was the entanglement. A neutral faction cuts your group off. The crows cut you off because of the loud noises you made, which pissed off the bluecoats with the whole sinking a boat.
Right.
So anyway, they won't pay us anymore. Well, that leaves us with stealing a painting and whatever this lord has brought to us. But we have a significant amount of coin now, and she points at like what's on the table. Perhaps we should consider improving our location status.
What you have in mind? I don't want to be
Well,
one
from a
of those-
mechanical perspective, I think we should go up a tier.
Okay.
Yeah, we will cut on what do you have
Yeah.
in mind to tick, 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 and a few things in the base change, get slightly better. Mostly just the quality of stuff you have goes up a tier because your tier is tied to the quality of items you have. And you also get your few upgrades and so on. But in the week, we're going to do a faction turn. So the way this works is that factions will roll their tier and they're going to work on clocks they have. Some of these clocks will be known, some of them will not be known. Let us start off with who would like to be the red sashes and who would like to be the lampblacks?
I mean, I feel like Papa needs to be the sashes.
red sashes.
Okay, 2 dice fortune roll, and whoever's rolling for the lampblacks, a 2 dice fortune roll.
Shall I be the lamp blacks? Oh,
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay,
fortune.
4 and a 5.
okay, so a complication success.
Ooh, 1 of the 3.
Okay,
Wow.
So that's 2v1. They're now working on the same clock with the Lampblacks opposing because the Red Sashes are starting to win. So 2 minus 1, so they get 1 in favor of the Red Sashes winning. The Red Sashes are almost halfway to winning the war in Crow's Hut on the final countdown. Who would like to be the Bluecoats and who would like to be the Crows?
I'll be the Crows.
Okay, 2 dice fortune roll. And then if you can give
I'll be the
me a
Bluecoats.
3 dice then, Lauren.
How many am I doing?
You're 2.
2. You can go first, Lauren.
5 for the Bluecoats.
Which means they fill the clock.
I don't think that's a good thing for us, but
Bluecoats
3.
procure bigger budget military arms and equipment.
3 for the...
Which means they get 1 tick, which means the clock for the Crows is finished.
Oh boy.
Lysa solidifies control of the Crows, which is perfect, because I have a mission to throw for you right now then. Who would like to roll for Ulf? I think we've got 3 remaining. Who would like to roll for Ulf?
sure.
Do Ulf? Oh.
I got Ulf. How many dice?
2. He has a 2 dice now.
He hits a critical.
Oh my god. Ulf is
You're
OP!
welcome, Ulf.
What the hell? Ulf is like killing
Crit
it,
is
dude.
5.
He went from like nothing to like, he's just been wrecking people. If you've been following along with the faction stuff for Ulf.
We've made a terrible mistake.
Ulf
Yeah.
turned up halfway through
Creating
so
rebellion.
far at tier 1. He's now tier 2, and you just finished this clock with some to spare.
I feel like we should blow up a building for Ulf.
Ulf carves at territory. He owns turf now. He's tier 2 with turf.
I like it. Revolution.
We're going to end up with him taking out the bloody sashes, and then
Because like he's not invested in that. He's gonna like fuck with the Bluecoats and shit.
Yeah.
And the invest. I feel
I feel
like,
like he's just gonna-
forming a civil union, or like a civil
yeah.
union is kind of like more what is happening.
Because I
he's,
think
he's also a gangster. Like, there is crime that he
Yeah.
does to earn money
Yeah.
to do the other things, but he is not quite as focused on being the gang warlord. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like
But if
he
he
could have
becomes
a
too big-
fruitful relationship with the Red Sashes.
they're kind of
should
they're in
blow
the
up the
same territory though.
They're in Crowsfoot, but they're in different parts of Crowsfoot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But still, the Red Sashes want to be in charge of Crow's Foot, and now suddenly this other faction is like,
Historically,
we're
there've
here
been multiple
now.
factions. Just one is the ward boss. So it's totally okay if they would be the ward boss and he would just be a gang under them. There'd be some sort of agreement about what land and what services they provide. But it potentially could be fractious. That's true. I also have
Could be a problem,
remaining.
but I feel like we can make it not a problem.
We have 2 remaining, both of which I can't tell you the faction or what they are. So
I'll do-
both of them are
I'll
tier
do
1.
faction 1.
Okay, you're gonna do faction 1. 1 dice fortune roll, please.
1 dice. Oh.
Was there another one?
1. They
Damn
get
it.
1.
That might be good for you. And yes, there is another one. If you could give me a 1 dice fortune roll, then Josh.
4.
Oh,
Thanks.
well, I can tell you what that is now.
Crap. Who are the vultures?
we're
You're
about
gonna
to
find
find
out in
out.
the time skip.
Hopefully they don't like rats when they're alive. Only the dead ones. So
Yeah,
don't die,
but
you'll
that
be
means
fine.
they're gonna kill us.
Pretty sure Osprey beats Vulture. Vulture beats.
Okay, so as the week goes, some things will be happening. You're going to get
think,
contacted by a number of people.
At the end of that conversation, I was going to say, well, the good news is apparently we're going to be getting some new people asking us for work soon, so we'll look forward to meeting those.
Okay.
Ding
Seriously,
dong.
Edwine, I have been bleeding for at least an hour now.
And everyone's still at the wound, like, fascinating.
How did he get the bullet out? There was another bullet in there, and that was his sleight of hand, and he's an asshole.
Yeah, it
Let's
was also
check.
shown.
Put
There's just
bullet
like
in.
several bullets in there now. Word reaches you that some people are looking for you, and they are desperate.
Okay. Where were they looking for us?
It will be the case of like word of mouth. Someone comes up to say Edwine in the pub and is like, "Look, these people are looking for you in the Canal Rats. They want to talk." Ruby might hear from maybe even Nerix. Nerix could say patron came in and instead of actually wanting services, just asked if she could talk to Ruby and then left. They seem desperate.
All right. I mean, if they're asking at Spogs or something like that, I'll just be like, well, where'd they say I could talk to them if they're looking for me?
Effectively, it's not too important about the details, but they will let you know that these people are looking now. If you wish to set up a meet somewhere, you can do. The only information you have on them is that they're desperate, they don't seem well off, and several of them seem like they've been injured recently, like limping and so on.
Interesting. I guess I'll just tell them, or tell the person that if they come around looking for me again, have them stop by the docks.
Okay. They nod and they say they'll pass the message on. Do you wish to set up a meeting in the docks then with the rest of your group?
Yeah.
Ellen can probably get you an empty pier at some sort of time if you wish to do some sort of clandestine nighttime meeting.
Sure.
Okay. You go to your prearranged meeting location. Ellen's at the end of the pier and just nods to you. Try not to make too many bloodstains. We have to clean them out afterwards.
I hope there won't be any, but if we do make some, just
I
show us
brought
where
you
the
a drink.
She's a
Wherever
little bit
you want.
nonplussed for a second and then like, yes, this is a Marin thing. Thank you very much, Marin.
Marin just has been like taking the tankards, giving them to Alan.
I really appreciate it.
I goes inside.
As you go down the pier, you see a group of 4 people who are already there. They are wearing cheap waistcoats, cheap shirts and trousers, work boots. Several of them have like little harnesses and packs around their person. Generally used by runners and people who carry stuff. Probably used by you guys occasionally when you're running on a medium load. And 2 of them male, 2 female. All of them fairly bedraggled. One of them tightly bound to the chest. And one of the lasses is like holding her leg kind of awkwardly, like it's very straight. Whereas the other leg is just a little bit crooked. As they see you coming, one of them pushes the other ones to the side. It's like, are you the Canal Rats?
We are? Heard you were looking for us?
Yeah, we're the Vultures.
Right.
Look, we got common interest. We've
What
been
kind of
smuggling,
common interest do we have?
moving stuff, smuggling, you know?
Right, yeah.
Well, we've been doing smuggling as well. We've heard you've been doing it and doing it well. But it seems that the Foghounds aren't too pleased with us moving on the territory.
Foghorns ain't very pleased with much, are they, these days?
Yeah, well, they killed Jimmy. And they
Who's
almost
Jimmy?
killed us. 5th member.
Sorry to hear. R.I.P. Jimmy.
We do like to get in other people's way.
Well, with all the chaos going down, I think they're making a move to get us out of the picture.
What are you proposing?
Well, we haven't got a hideout anymore. They even got our cart. We want to stop them, but we're on the back foot. And we know they're looking for you guys as well.
Look at Papa.
Well, we can't have the Foghounds throwing their weight around, can we? I think that we should help these people. Of course, there is one worry of mine.
Look, we don't mind. There's plenty of room for smugglers in Doskvol.
Oh, absolutely. There's, I'm not going to force you out of your business, nothing like that. I will say I've never heard of the Vultures before. And that's not a slight on you, it's just my mistake. Is there anything you could use to prove your credentials?
Well, you know the blue coat shipment that we were missing a couple of weeks back? You all vaguely might remember it. It was in a couple of papers. That was us.
Blue coats. My.
I mean, arms fetching a good price right now. This guy called Ulf wanted good quality weapons, and
Which warehouse did you steal it from?
why? Why are you asking?
Well, because we also was it two groups for two different warehouses, or did you just send two different groups to the same warehouse? Because that's not efficient.
No. Some of the arms are being transported by cart. We nicked the cart.
Oh,
Oh dear, that's a lot of weapons.
Well, he had like 20, 30 people or something he wanted to arm. Don't know where he got them all from.
He's a
Goblins.
lucky man.
Lots of
Yeah,
friends.
bitch, I would say that. Been doing a lot around here.
Ulf has been extremely busy, a very active entrepreneur. And Ulf has friends. And seeing as we've both been victimized by the Foghounds, I think, looks around, we don't want you to come under any more fire. So how about, I think we have space at ours. Is that what you're after?
I mean, that's nice of you. We won't turn it down. We need to find someone to lay low for a while.
You have to do some work for us then. But it seems like you're interested in the same things as us.
Look, we can pay you. We've got a couple of coins saved up that we hid. But, I mean, we must have wanted to let you know so that you didn't have the same problem we did. They picked on us first. It's only a matter of time before they pick on you. We just wanted to give you a heads up. There's
Who'd
got to be
have
some
thought?
sort of code.
Vultures and rats hanging out together like this.
Strange bedfellows, strange times.
It may
Very
be
much
more
so.
to our advantage to work together than simply take a coin. We have resources. You need those.
And a physica. I don't know if you need your wounds tending anymore. They seem to have been strapped up.
Sure, what do you have in mind?
Well, these are just some of the things that we can offer you. Safety, medicine.
I think what he's getting at is you join us, be part of the Canal Rats, do some jobs for us. You'll be better off.
Maybe
Is
think
that you're
about
on
it
your
for a
own?
while. We can work together to eliminate the Foghounds as a threat, and then you can decide.
Have you been working in the Crow's Foot ward?
Yeah, I mean, mostly based out of the docks.
Well, we don't have too much coverage in the docks. It would be very helpful to have some friends that know the place better than us.
I mean, most of us come from Coleridge, but we got ran out of there by the Foghounds.
See,
Coleridge
it's
is
those
where we like to
Foghounds
be.
again.
Look, we're happy to work together as much as possible to get rid of the Foghounds, or at least to stop them getting on our backs. We don't want Crow's Foot. We're not worried about that. We want to go back to Coleridge.
Of course.
And I know you've got ties here in the docks, gestures towards Ellen. Don't really want the docks either.
Then perhaps a temporary alliance would be our best advantage.
Absolutely.
It sounds like our interests are completely aligned then. You want a completely different territory to us, so there's no interference there. And we both want the Foghounds dealt with.
Maybe we can work each other's way or something, stick together.
I think they pass the coin then.
Perhaps you stay at our base until you get yourselves back on your feet and we deal with the Foghounds. We take the coin to cover the expenses.
I'll give you a choice. If you want to, you can make a roll, and if you succeed with your previous argument of you should join us temporarily, you can treat them as a temporary, occasional use cohort. But you'd have to succeed in a roll, because they are...
I feel like it's anything directly taking down the Foghounds they'll help us with.
Yeah, they'd also help you with a couple other things, provided you pay them like a coin or something, if they're taking a minimal part. Effectively, you could temporarily use them until they get back on their feet. If you take too long, they will just leave because they're only here temporarily, but you could potentially do that. You just have to succeed in a roll to persuade them to be part of your group.
Yeah, all
I
right.
think that's a good thing. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think this is a sway, right?
Yeah.
So that might
could
make sense.
roll sway.
Yeah. Do you want to do a Rui sway, a team sway, a setup sway, assist sway?
I feel like
It gets better if I
it
just-
might make sense to you roll it and then Papa assist
Yeah.
to take one stress and you add a die. I think that makes the most sense as opposed to a
Yeah.
team sway because
And I can
that's one
stress,
round.
but I don't know if I need to.
If Pap's assisting, you just add the one die. You're probably fine with that. It's not worth
Mhm.
much more stress.
Yeah, I'd
So is this
take one
controlled?
stress.
Yeah, it'll be controlled. Controlled standard.
Control standard. Okay. And then you assisting me, Papa?
Yeah, I
bargain.
spent a stress.
you fall
can
in
we-
love and then you have to become part of the vultures when they leave.
You fall in love with all four of them.
What would be... No, I don't know. We need a devil's bargain
No,
here.
I think just roll with the +1.
Devil's bargain. I can give you a devil's bargain. Your association with the vultures will lead the Foghounds closer to finding all of you. But you
Why
will
would
have
we
them on
want
your
that?
side. Because it will get you an extra dice for making them on side. Devil's bargain, you get a dice with the downside.
Oh, no,
You
thank
already
you.
got 3 dice?
I'll do standard. I have 3 dice,
Okay.
plus it'll be 4 with Josh. So.
Oh, okay, I think with 4.
Oh, yeah, that's enough. There's
Oh.
no point going 4 to 5 to get us screwed over.
For a devil's bargain.
Ooh, 3.
Oh, are you
God.
sure? Oh no!
For those listening on the
No.
MP3, that was a 2-1-1-3.
Why did you say that, Bento?
Look,
Bentham! You
we've-
fucking jinxed,
There's
No
no
agreed with
point.
me.
jinxed me.
Probability-wise, there isn't.
Okay, we'll roll one
Those
more
dice
d6
are
just to
assholes.
see if it would have changed
yeah,
the world.
fortune dice, 1 dice, and see what would have happened. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my
Completely
god,
dice.
no! It was a 6!
Oh.
You should have taken Devil's bargain, Maggie.
Damn it!
course it's a
she
six.
looks
We don't
as though
actually
you
know, it's
Suggest
just funny.
being part of the gang. No. Look, we're too injured. We've put too many We can't go on a limb like that. I'm sorry. We'd like to. Maybe at some point in the future, but now it's too much. We'll pay you a coin if we can just stop at yours for a bit before moving on.
Very well.
All right. And Jacob, talking about us, we've been hearing that you've been looking for us. It's not a good look for you.
Well, we
nor
had to
for-
find you.
Somehow no one else seems to have a problem finding us.
We're only tier 1.
It was just you.
Come to ours. We'll patch you up.
That advances
And-
a clock by 1 tick, and you get a coin.
Woo!
Maybe we'll contact you again when we actually go after the Foghounds.
Hey, look, come back to us, spend the night, and maybe we'll ring you sometime, just leave
Yeah.
your number.
We'll ring you.
Don't call
Don't
us.
ring us.
Yeah. Okay. And they will stay at yours for a bit. Note that if you are attacked at any point at your base, they are at your base for the next little while, so your base does have additional occupants who are there most of the time.
Great. I'm assuming they won't want to die while they're at our base.
No, and they will act accordingly. They will probably be a little bit paranoid considering they were attacked recently in a similar situation. So,
right,
you may add yourself the Vultures as a faction. They are tier 1 weak. They might go down to tier 0. And you would be a +1 rep with them because you were quite nice to them.
That's fair. And we have an extra coin now.
Is our rep at 1 or
One with
status even?
Sorry, your
Status is
status is 1
1.
with them, yeah.
Okay. Sorted that on the thing.
I feel like okay. So from a mechanical perspective, if we wanted to say fuck up the Foghound so they became tier 0, what might we need to do?
You'd have to take them down from tier 1 strong to tier 1 weak and then to tier
They
0.
are tier 1 weak according to our sheet.
Oh. In which case, yes. What would you have to do? You have to do severe damage to them. Like, you would have to kill about a dozen people, destroy 2 or 3 barges, and their associated connections. It would be a clock if you want to go to war, and you could then try and destroy them.
It's just very tempting because I don't like them, but I feel like we definitely need to enlist help with this.
Ulf.
Yeah, like Ulf.
Whoever crits the most, right?
Ulf and the Red Side. I feel I don't think I don't want to do it now because we're not in great position to not have the extra downtime actions, but I feel like we need to keep picking at them.
Think all the
Should we-
bodies.
Should we have a clock that is prepare for war with the Foghounds?
Not a bad idea.
I don't think we need that, right? Because we just decide when we want to go to war. So I think it's just up for us to say
Or they decide.
or they decide. That is how
Is there
war
any
works.
advantages we can gain from preparations? Then sure, but I don't know what there is.
I think it would just be the usual stuff like getting a cohort or
You could defend your base, you could build some defenses.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you can do with your base that you can upgrade, which you could spend on upgrades. Like, if you wish to get the cohort advance, you could totally make the cohort advance, the Vultures join us, and then with an advance you can take them on or something if you wish to do that under a cohort advance, but you would need to level up your crew to do it. Again, you can do clocks for a lot of things, though, if you wish.
But we could do a job that's specifically taking turf and aim to target Foghound turf, so we could we'll piss them off. That'll probably put us to war, but that's not
if you take turf from someone, it's immediately war. And we have turf here.
Ooh.
The Foghounds have a fleet.
Oh, shit. We need people. Ooh.
So we actually have to.
Or we
Okay,
work with
particular.
somebody else, one of our partners, to take them out. Someone who has a mutual hatred.
So something
for
like the
Foghound.
luxury fence, where if we don't necessarily want to go to war with the Red Sashes, is that something we could earn from them?
Possibly. That would be harder, a lot harder, and it would involve a lot of time spent, etc. But you could. A lot of the issues with taking turf is normally it pisses someone off that you get it from, so there are downsides.
Yeah.
And for instance, the Red Sashes do specialize in luxury, so that would be the thing that if you try moving on their business, that's something that you'll probably end up having to take turf away from them. Whereas you can say take the fleet or something away from the Foghounds because you hate them, it's probably going to end up that way anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like taking the fleet doesn't get us a lot until we have a cohort.
Let me see. What does the fleet actually get you? Your cohorts,
cohorts have their own
Each cohort
vehicles.
a common vehicle. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we need
How far are
cohorts
you away
first.
from your playbook advance?
3
3.
crew advancement points.
You probably will hit that by the end of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, so we could pick up a cohort, which is not a bad idea. But
Which
we
would be
could
smart, yeah.
alternatively, I don't know, secure our base.
Yeah.
Make it
Stop.
hidden and secure.
All
I
we
feel
need
like
is a-
that would have behoove us.
We just need a sign saying "sod off."
Keep out.
Cold
Knock
collars.
first.
Canal rats
You know what?
only.
The acronym for our show is SOD.
Yeah.
Sod.
Yeah.
Let's put you back on. Let's go to the world map
Okay.
for once.
So, does anyone else come to let's move on with that. I just was curious about kind of how we could go into.
Yes, that people do come to you.
Because right now we don't
Downtime.
actually have any jobs that people have offered us. So like,
Yeah.
unless we want to go steal a painting, that's the only.
Okay, so there are two other factions who will be popping in to see you in this time.
We could blow up a building.
Marin.
Oh, you're right. I
could love
I
the
don't
building.
look at that one. I'm sorry. Who comes to talk to me?
Nadine,
My bird?
your bird comes back with a note.
Who gave you a note? Like, pulls it off the leg.
It comes from an old friend. Someone you haven't talked to in quite a while.
The Leviathans.
They're talking to me. It's all I've ever wanted.
Hi, Marin. I'm here with all your friends.
Your deadly friends are inversed because you've got the bounty hunter as a friend, and
I couldn't figure out which one was which. Is the up
good.
arrow?
Up is good.
Okay.
I would-
Well, so here's the reason why I'm confused by that. Because in the context for the smuggler's sheet, the black arrow, and I guess it points to the side, like it makes it black for our contact. So I was like, do I want my
I'm
good
pretty
one to
sure
be
red is good because it's like things you have are red.
fair enough.
But,
I had it the other way around and then I flipped it because I looked at the sheet on the smugglers. and
I'm pretty sure red's meant to be good.
six. Sure. Yeah, Valeris.
Yeah, it's signed Valeris. It says, "I have a new employer, and they might have a job for you."
Well, this is a letter, so I can't actually say anything in response to it.
On the other side, it says, "If you're interested, meet me at dusk tomorrow." And it gives an address at one of the slightly nicer taverns up in Charter Hollow.
Well, Marin will put on her cleanest clothes and go meet with her friend Valeris.
Cool. Roll me your lifestyle.
To be fair, all of her clothes are. This
Equally
is like
unclean.
the one without bloodstains. 0 dice, but I got 2 sixes.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Kaka has cleaned some of your clothes for you, finally.
I roll 4 dice
This-
and get like a bunch of crap. She rolls 1 dice and gets 2
This is
sixes.
the worst. These are like unimportant.
These are
Why
unimportant
are
details.
I wasting all my good
Look,
rolls?
So does this count as this is just
No.
a 6,
It's
right?
just a 6.
Yeah,
You
it's
pick
not a
one,
crit.
it's a
Okay.
6.
It's not technically a crit because she only has 1 dice.
Yeah, so because of that, it being a 6, it knocks your level up from being 0 lifestyle to being 1 lifestyle. So
Yeah.
instead of looking like someone who sleeps in the gutter, you look like someone who maybe owns a tinier, pokey apartment that's terrible quality. Like you have clothes that are acceptable.
Papa like repaired all of the bullet holes in them, cleaned the blood stains.
Yeah.
Marina's like, I don't remember my clothes. Doesn't smell like fish. Puts it on.
It does smell good. It doesn't smell like fish, though. And with that, you actually make your way in without any issue. No one even remotely bats really an eyelid at you. You are definitely not one of the best well-off people here by any means. You're probably one
Like,
of the
I'm not
least
going to
well-off,
get
but-
good service
Yeah.
because they know I won't tip, but
But you do get service. And in Charter Hollow, while no one's gonna particularly look down on the poor that much, it's a level above Crowsfoot. Just 1 level above Crowsfoot, but it is a level above Crowsfoot. And so you make your way in to this tavern. And as soon as you enter, the person at the bar looks over. Sorry, your friend said so in your description, is your name Marin?
yes, I'm here to
Uh,
meet with someone.
Friend's in the back in one of the rooms. Just on the right as you go up there, past the toilet.
Thank you.
Is the bird coming in? The bird's outside like,
No. Just like feeds Naden a snack.
good. I mean, I could put out like a food bowl or something like for.
Naden is self-sufficient, but thank you for the offer. That's very kind.
Sure. Some people bring cats around, so
They're friendly.
She looks at just past the toilets.
Thank you. Naden flies off.
Yeah, you go through the back. It's a small door, very tight little corridor. Multiple buildings have been built and stacked together over the years here, and you manage to find your way past to this little room, which is pretty much like the size of like a medium-sized sauna room. Just a little bench around the side. In the middle is just a tiny little like single stem round top table, and at the other side, wearing a hood of a what seems to be like a grayish drab robe or traveling cloak with a plain grey, slate grey mask with eye holes and embellished lips and nose, is, you presume, your contact. They seem to be about the right height and their mannerisms seem the same, but they are wearing a mask now. Marin, I haven't seen you in a while.
Valeris.
Sorry
I think she
about-
actually smiles and like her face looks for a moment much less like empty. It's been a long time.
Your eyes look different.
Your face looks different.
My employers these days, we all have to wear part of the
Care
anonymity.
to tell me who it is?
The Wraiths.
The Wraiths?
The Wraiths. Wraiths. You might have heard of them. They generally are a group, a gang, a guild of thieves and spies. They tend to deal in getting objects for people, not smuggling. They actually go and get them from places. They are thieves, but also getting information and using information.
That sounds like the perfect line of work for you.
Well, after the fall of Scotland, I had to find new work.
I imagine things have been quieter since the end of the war. Less need.
Quite the contrary. In war, you know your enemies. In peace,
Ah,
what about you? Not a pirate anymore.
no. We were privateers.
Sorry.
She smiles and like laughs at it like that's just the joke that everyone would say because they were pirates. I just, they stole from different ships and gave it to other ships. Did you hear?
I'm sorry about the gale.
I don't know what happened. I woke up on the shore near Doskvol. My friend found me. Like Naden screeches outside.
I've heard a few things, but nothing I can say for certain.
I've been trying to track down some leads. I don't want them all to be gone, but I think they must be.
It's been, almost 2 years?
But I survived. Of whatever it was. It's possible. There's a lot of shores.
True.
But that's not why we're here.
No.
She blinks several times. You have a job? For me.
Well, for you and your group, you specialize in moving things, right?
We do, and you specialize in acquisition.
My
Have you
group,
acquired something that needs moving?
we've acquired something that desperately needs moving because it will acquire way too much attention.
We have moved a few things like that before. Is this something that's going to cause us problems?
I hope not. But it's
Is there a ghost
in?
in the box?
She stops for a second, tilts
Demon?
her head,
It needs asking. You gotta be sure
just
these days.
pulls her hands up and just removes the mask, and you see like vaguely brown blonde hair, blue eyes, and she looks up at you a little bit confused, just like, okay, you have to tell me that one.
Or a demon.
What the fuck have you been up to?
It's been interesting. Like I said, will this box cause us problems?
It's not a box. One of our members lifted something from a brothel a few days ago. Turns out what they lifted was a map belonging to the Storm Palace. Because of your obsession, you would know the Storm Palace is a Leviathan hunting ship. Not one of the biggest or most well-known.
They stole a Leviathan hunting map?
Yep. So, for context, if you could say that Leviathans are the crude oil of this world, they effectively just stole the plans for where the oil is in Antarctica. This is where Leviathan hunters go to get the oil, and each of these maps is information they have guarded and found and guard incredibly jealously, because where the Leviathans go and congregate at different times of the year.
What was the name of this ship again?
The Storm Palace.
Okay,
This
so it's
is
not the
worth
one
a
that
lot of
we've...
coin. No.
Depth Tempest.
And it's not one of the big three either. It's a moderately sized one.
Smaller one.
Smaller one, yeah.
She hasn't fangirled over this one.
Probably not. It's probably
As
like one of
much.
the top, like maybe like top 20, top 12.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be top 5 now. You
Oh.
would probably consider it a frigate rather than a cruiser.
And I assume whoever wants this map wants it badly and is
But
paying you.
telling anyone who might tip off the offended party would be bad. Yes.
I assume the offended party would be Storm's Palace.
Yes.
Do they know the map is missing?
Well, I presume so. We haven't wanted to get too close to anyone involved. But we need someone not connected with us to go and check in with the 3 most well-off Leviathan hunters and see if they might be in the market. Because if they
So
are,
you don't have a buyer.
we
You
need to
just stole
find
it.
one, and we need to find one fast.
Well, that's poor form. You should always steal when you have a buyer.
Like I said, this was more of an accident.
Ah. We've had a few of those. I remember once when we invaded a ship. We stole all their goods and we didn't realize and she just like trails off on some memory.
Yeah, but this time when most people look at you like this is a bit weird, you see Valeris actually looks at you a bit enraptured, like, no, keep telling the story. Like, she follows your train of thought as it goes and is like,
Yeah. It was like, we boarded the ship, we slaughtered all of them, we stole all of their things, we burnt the ship, and then we realized they had like a crate with...
oh. Was it you that did the Foghound ship in?
Oh, that was a different thing. She was talking about something with the Gale.
I know, and that one's exactly the same sort of story as with the Foghounds, which is more
Oh,
recent.
yes. Of course.
You know they're
I
looking for
killed
you.
one of them.
As far as I know, all of them died.
Oh. We did set their boat on fire.
The Spirit Wardens managed to get 2 of them. I think the Gondoliers might have got another one.
That would make sense.
As far as I'm aware, the 4th is missing.
There was at least one still on board when we burnt the ship.
Right.
But I suppose we'll have a ghost that might be angry at us. Again.
Well, from what I understand, you've got yourself a whisper, so...
Oh, yes. It's like connect some dots for a moment. Right.
But if you want to do some work for us, it's a simple 2-coin job. Go check in with the Leviathan hunters and make sure that you don't get tailed. And don't give up who's selling.
Of course. I don't even know who it is. Pirate's code. Smuggler's code. It's all the same thing. We look out for our own, because when one of us succeeds, we all succeed.
My group call it Thieves' Code now.
Oh. Why do they have to make it so specific? It could just be
The code?
not nobles.
True.
The only time I backstab is when I've been front stabbed, so...
I'll remind me never to get on your bad side.
I think you already know that. I've missed you.
I missed you too.
I'm glad you're doing well. Hopefully, I will be again soon.
If you need anything,
Let's find you a buyer.
I guess in the interests of not being able to work with our personal shit, at least we can just work with a whole shit ton of money.
Money does make many things easier.
Let's go with that then. Let's make ourselves rich.
You know, I was thinking of becoming a Leviathan hunter, but they seem very exclusive. And then she nuts. I feel like that's where we end.
That's where we end. You have a few drinks with her, you catch back up, you have yourself a job from the Wraiths. You can add them as a faction, you have Sierra rep with them. The Wraiths are, I'll get you the exact details right now, tier 2, and is it strong or weak? Let me find out. Tier 2 weak. They mainly operate in Silkshore and Night Market. They specialize in the theft of luxury items and intelligence gathering for clients to use as blackmail.
That makes sense.
They do not get on with the Blue Coats or the Inspectors. And you wouldn't know that one, so yeah. Right. Okay, there's one last group that contacts you in this week. Been looking forward to this one.
If it's the
Remember the
fog
part
hounds, they
where-
can sod off.
Remember the part where Lord What's-His-Face was like, you'll know when the group contacts you. And we're like, a lot of groups contact us, and this is going to be the third group in the last week that's like, we want you to do a job, and it involves smuggling. Like,
Because guess what?
We're screwing over for money. I don't know which.
Papa,
Mm.
when you were at your smoking club one day,
Mm-hmm.
a gentleman walks in, quite finely tailored, very good poise. Like as he walks in, heels come together, clipped, looks around, hands on waistcoat, and then walks towards the bar, has a quick word with the barman points in your direction. He comes over and goes, I'm sorry, I don't have your full name in front of me. What's your full name?
Patras Gill.
Patras Gill. Okay. Patras Gill, I presume.
Takes a stonking big cigar out of his mouth.
Lady Maura would like to make your acquaintance.
Lady Maura. That sounds quite the fine woman. Of course.
Very well. She would like to meet you at one of the temples.
Oh. Checking that I won't burn up on entry.
Quite. Would you be able to follow me now?
Of course. I throw a couple of coins to the... Not coins, but you know.
Yeah. For a few slugs over the bar.
Some
and
money for
odds.
the cigar, and I take it with me.
Okay. You make your way up to Brightstone. This guy leads you the way. You can talk to him if you want. He's, as you realize now, although well-tailored, this is well-tailored butler-type material. Like, he is definitely a few tiers above whatever you're wearing, but looks at you, tuts a little bit occasionally. You make your way up. to this grand ornate temple, cut out of what appears to be a fine marble. On it, the fresco involves a lot of gratuitous and explicit sexual scenes with intertwined bodies. This would be a temple
Saucy.
to the Church of Ecstasy. So, the church. Those of you who don't know, the church is the state religion. They have a lot more weird esoteric cults and stuff who believe strange things, but they are the one state religion. Not everyone really aspires to being religious in this world, but those who do tend to be more noble and have more time to spare. They honor the life, the body, and abhor the corrupt spirit. Essentially a secret society in some respects. So whereas in our world, we kind of respect the spirit and we're all about, hey, the spirit will transcend when you die, etc. In this world, when we see the spirit, it tends to be a wraith or something horrific that goes around and goes mad. So in this world, people much more revere the body and all things physical. And because of that, they are very much into very hedonistic practices. Hence the Church of Ecstasy. The purest beings, according to the secret teaching of the church, are those without spirits. And there are a lot of weird rumors about some sections of the church.
Okay. Oh dear.
So, you enter,
Oh yes.
you burn up, you don't burn up. You cross into what seems to be a large receiving hall. There are a few functionaries stationed around, all of them wearing tight, thin but tough fabrics. There's a small bowl as you enter, water in it. The guy goes up and just grabs a towel off one of them nearby, dries his hand, looks over at you.
I repeat what he did and wash my hands, essentially, right?
Yeah. Takes off his shoes, puts them into a rack.
Taking your shoes off now? Quite. Yes, fine. Take off my shoes.
Takes off his socks.
Oh. It's a good thing I got it. Right, yeah, okay.
Goes over to another little tray on the floor, puts his feet in, and then gets a towel, hands the towel off to a functionary.
Patras will, yes, continue following the lead of this man, but getting more and more frustrated by the pomp and circumstance.
Takes you a good 5-6 minutes just to go through this process, but eventually he leads you on and you open up into a little corridor. And as you go through the corridor, you can hear sounds in the background. Some sounds sound like people in pain. Some sounds are mixed groans and sounds of sexual pleasure emanating from one of the rooms nearby.
Oh.
But you are led down to one of the smaller rooms off to the side. It's a small room about the size of like a dining room. In the middle is a small cylindrical metal globe, which seems to have some incense in it that's burning. And as you come in, coming straight from your smoke shop, where you are a fine connoisseur of these things, these are slightly psychoactive substances. But sitting at the other end, in somewhat revealing clothing, but with a certain modesty to it. It doesn't ever go beyond the line of revealing. There's a certain plunging neckline. The fabric itself is relatively sheer, but the ruffles and so on are still present for elaborate clothing. It's definitely this clothing that's designed to both skim the line of, is this a bit too risque? But also, look, I've got all the ruffles and things that society dictates should be on clothing. Is a woman. She has dusky brown eyes, her hair's beginning to turn grey and tied up in a bun behind her. She's leaning back with her eyes closed but flicker open as she sees you.
Lady Moira, was it?
Lady Maura.
Maura, my apologies.
My husband says you come highly recommended.
Ah, well, I'm very glad to hear that word of mouth is working for us. And, of course, it's not the reason I'm here, but I don't suppose you could... Who is your husband?
Lord Maura.
That would make sense.
Yes.
Of course, and I love what you've done with the place. I am here at your service. Please, describe what you need and I shall do my best to provide.
Don't quite jump too far ahead, Patras. You come highly recommended, but tell me about yourself. Tell me about your group. So head back, close their eyes again.
Well, we are a scrappy bunch of delivery people who acquire all manner of high-end luxury items that people are in grave need of. But fortunately for them, the people that we serve, there are these horrible things called taxes that some of them may want to avoid, or discretion is extremely important to us, and we have very important services that allow you and many other people to enjoy all sorts of wonderful high-end items at a very reasonable fee.
That sounds delightful.
Yes, don't let the name fool you. We know the canals.
A
But we
lot of
don't
weird
scurry.
things go on in the canals, from what I understand.
Yes. Unusual things tend to happen when you're as involved in local politics as we are. It's unfortunate, but sometimes you have to make do and deal with your lot.
Hmm.
I hope that's not a problem for you.
No. And your services, of course, are confidential.
Always.
We have something that needs moving, then. My group are avid collectors. We specialize in artifacts and history, particularly things from the Lost
wonderful.
District.
That does pique my personal interest as well, but of course, continue.
There are certain items we've been looking for quite some time. One of them we have recently found in a collection of a certain gentleman, and we wish it to be conveyed to us. It should be a pretty simple job. I can pay you.
Wonderful. Does this gentleman have any need of it currently?
No, he's selling it. We'll make sure he's paid.
Excellent. So we are to pick it up and make sure that you get it.
Yes.
Say no more. I understand this is our specialty. So, what terms would you like?
Well, sometime next week will be good. It would be a 2-coin score, simply to pick up the object.
Well, are you able to discuss exactly what this object is, or would you prefer it stayed confidential?
It's a small thing. It's a relic of a long-fallen hero.
That does sound intriguing. Well, if you don't want to say any more, that's perfectly understandable.
I'm not too concerned. Happy to discuss certain elements of history and archaeology with a fellow dabbler.
I do dabble when I have the opportunity. There's a certain aesthetic that modern trinkets just don't reach the heights of.
When I say it's a relic, it's part of.
Oh. You're assembling an ancient hero, are you?
It's not quite assembling, but a person very important to the history of the Empire and the Imperium as a whole. And we collect such relics.
Fascinating. Well, yes, I think the Canal Rats will be able to meet your obviously very high standards, and we will let you know when we're able to purvey such an item.
Excellent, thank you. I'm sure my manservant will be able to collect any sort of message you wish to relay through your smoke dealer.
Yes.
Shame.
A shame.
One of your stature could do with some religion.
And how would one... Is there a communion?
There's a certain meeting of the bodies. Sometimes.
Ah. Fascinating.
You hear from next door. Sorry, we spent too long chatting. I believe my husband is ready for me. Thank you for your time. Show him out when he's ready, or feel free to stay a while and learn more about the church. Good day.
I would love to. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes.
Have
yes.
a wonderful,
She leaves.
exquisite day.
I really feel like you missed an opportunity to be like, you can call me Papa.
Oh, Papa. Do you stay?
Yeah.
It
Do
would
you
be
get some
rude to
religion?
refuse.
You pay
Okay.
your tithe to the church.
Yeah. He,
Let's just say Papa comes to a revelation, and we'll fade to black on that.
Oh, good, good.
Okay. You have met many different people in many different factions. There are 2 additional jobs from factions you've already met.
and that was just while we were at the church.
Mm-hmm. The Aruvians have another job for you.
Okay.
Good.
They want you to sabotage the Crow's solidification,
Oh,
Ah.
good, good.
which they've literally just finished their clocks, so this is a one and only chance. The Crows, Lysa is effectively meeting with the head of the disparate faction of the Crows, and is going to have a sit down, a talk, and be able to reintegrate them. The head of that faction is called Schaefer Skull. Thank you, Patreon. And they would like you to ruin it in any way you see fit. But they do suggest they have the ghost of Roric, and if it were to let itself out at the wrong time, thanks to you,
Sounds like a bad idea.
put it this way. Lysa
But a
killed Roric.
fun one.
Mm-hmm. Lysa killed Roric. Schaefer Skull was quite loyal to Roric, which is why that he's part of the disparate faction. Having Roric show up would ruin it entirely.
That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
I mean, I imagine that's a bigger score, right?
It would be a 4-coin score. If you were to try and ruin it in another way, it might be more complicated, it might be higher, but because it simply involves getting close enough to let Roric's ghost out in the presence of Lysa, it would only be 4-coin, because it will go so badly for them.
Just lob the bottle like a
Yeah.
grenade into the middle of the room.
I think actually because of the importance and the tier of the factions you're going up against, it would be 5-coin. 5-coin for that one. I will make the appropriate modification.
Good deal. Time sensitive. Should probably do that one.
Yeah, that's why I'm
And-
thinking that one sounds like we have to do it now before a downtime or we lose the opportunity.
Yeah. Ulf has another job.
But it's
Mhm.
not blowing up a building.
He needs you to lead the Billhooks into an ambush. The Billhooks are a smaller gang. They are true Duskers, and that's basically vaguely veiled code word for "we are racist. We do not want anyone who is of
Well, fuck them.
non-Doskvol heritage being in Crowsfoot." You'll see a lot of true Duskers signs have gone up recently, stuff like no scarves and stuff in the windows of shops. And the billhooks have been one of the more, what's the word? Visible pro-Dusker movement gangs out there. And Ulf wants territory and has got himself a little bit of territory recently, and he wishes to expand. The billhooks are in the way. If those of you want to know, the billhooks are tier 1.
It's not too bad.
I can give you the exact write-up on them, by the way, because you'll probably want to add them to your faction list. Oh, actually, no, the billhooks are tier 2. Yep, they're tier 2 weak. Everyone's tier 2 weak. They a large gang of bloodthirsty butchers.
Makes sense.
A tough gang of thugs who prefer hatchets, meat hooks, and polearms.
And how many coins is that one?
That would be 4 coins to lead them into an ambush.
Cool.
Just writing a list.
Your role in that will be to A, lead them into the ambush, and then B, you don't need to do any directly wiping out the billhooks or anything, but you need to be on the edge and make sure you try and contain any that try and leave too early, or to make sure they don't easily scatter. Ulf wants this ambush to be complete. If a few get away, it's fine, but he generally needs, just in case something goes wrong and they start leaving early, he needs you to keep them there.
This sounds like one that's going to generate a lot of heat because he's probably murdering the billhooks.
He would tell you, well, some people might die, and I'm not too worried if some of the bastards die because they're fucking racist assholes. But I don't plan to kill too many of them. I'd like to leave them more of a message, breaking knees, breaking arms, breaking feet, hands, that sort of thing. But probably some will die, someone will pull out a pistol and then someone else pulls out a shank and then things get a little bit hairy and before you know it, I strangled a guy. It happens.
I've been in exactly the same situation.
I understand.
Yes.
The way he's talking, it's definitely happened.
Cool. So we've got 6 jobs to pick from. I say we do sabotage. I say we do this sabotage crow meat because that one has a deadline.
It's a time constraint.
Yeah. And then maybe do probably one of the simpler scores. Marin's definitely going to suggest they do the find the map buyer because she's personally interested in it. And it's important to her, but that's also an easier score. Now, here's my question. If we could do a simple score, I assume we need to do the sabotage before the next crew turn.
Yes, the next time a faction turn goes, that clock will be completed and be moving on.
But not necessarily the next downtime. So if we could theoretically do a simple score and then do that one.
Yes, if you're fast enough. It's up to you.
How fast can we do it?
Might be good so we can heal up and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I think
we
can do that one next.
Solidification, potentially, if you do it right, might not be too hard. But the consequence is that if it goes poorly, there is a large amount of gang people around who are all armed. So bear that in mind.
The which one?
The sabotage, the solidification. If it goes right, potentially you'll be fine. Nothing will happen. But if it goes wrong, there are a lot of very armed people around.
Yeah, yeah. That's the case with most of those things. If it goes right, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
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 So, preferences, folks?
Yeah, I think we do the sabotage first.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
We'll commit to the sabotage and hope we don't go up a wanted level and
hope no one takes any injuries.
Yeah.
I'm okay on injuries. I got space.
I have room left on my damage track. This is fine.
So do we know where the meet is happening?
Yes. It'll be happening in Coal Market Square.
So a public space, not a private room.
Yeah. But then again, public spaces in this area tend to be controlled by the ward boss.
Yeah.
The idea being that easy access to entry and leaving if they need to, and it's wide enough and open enough that if someone starts shooting, everyone will start shooting, and everyone will be equally in trouble.
Yeah.
No one controls the land, and it's close enough to the red sashes that they're all on guard enough that there might be a third participant, so they're on edge, and they might have to fight together potentially just for the ease of needing to save themselves.
So, how close does the bottle? Like, I assume we need to be like next to them and open the bottle to let the
We
ghost
just
out.
throw it like a ghost grenade.
Potentially, yes. You could throw it. And remember, it's not a grenade size; it is a loaf of bread size. It's a pretty big object.
Two-handed
Aaron
chuck.
could throw it like a ghost grenade.
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, what if we planted it there beforehand and then shot it to break it open?
If you could plant it there and it would be hidden,
Yeah,
and it doesn't get found, sure.
I don't like that idea.
Got it.
as much.
If they're meeting at are they meeting in a cafe or something? Are they going to be sat at a table?
No, they're meeting in the square.
Is like standing.
The gangs
Oh,
around here, and especially the crows because they pay off the bluecoats, can entirely just take over a public space and be like, please leave everyone, this is ours for a moment.
I was hoping they would be sat at a table somewhere, because then I would suggest we just put it on the table and some flowers in it. Looks like a vase. They'll never suspect anything.
Nice. That's,
We could basically either put it in or hang it from a lamp, like a light lamp.
ooh.
Then paint the lamp black and they'll think it's the lamp blacks again.
It would be hard to disguise that as a lamp. It's a pretty bulky object. The lamps these days are electroplasm lamps, so they're just a simple like piece of metal with a cable inside it and then a little bulb.
Yeah, I feel like just getting close and opening it. Here's the other question though. Maggie, do you think Ruby would be able to command, because this is the risky way, is like we open it farther away and then command him to go there?
Yeah.
I mean, we could try.
Like we are on the edge of the square and then we tell him. Like in that instance, we are out of the immediate danger and we just run into the like, if the ghost fucks us, then we're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I could use compel and we could try.
Because that's what I was thinking, is like you have that ability where if like we're, like in one of these buildings.
It is the risky route.
Yeah, it would definitely be our like occult. We would be taking a cult approach, and our arcane power would be like you talking to the ghost.
Yeah.
You just do a sway. Like, there's the lady that shot you. She's trying to take over your best friend.
I mean, I think
Go kill her.
for Ruby, hell yeah, she'd be down. It's
That's-
more of, do we as a collective group want to do that? Ruby for sure is down because she would like to befriend said ghost and not.
Because we can do like we can help you in like a teamwork sense to improve the likelihood of succeeding on that roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would definitely push myself if we were going to go that route.
But it does
seems like
essentially hinge everything on that one roll.
Yes.
With compel, trying to think how you would be able to assist, because you need to be able to assist narratively. How would you go about it?
I mean, it's like the emotional support for Ruby, like the, protecting her, defending her, whatever it is to help her.
I think the person who'd be able to assist me the most is probably Bentham's character, because Edwine might have actual items that can help me.
Yeah, I was thinking, because he's been studying that ghost resistant gate.
Goat resistant gate, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It's also got there's a metal grate in it as well, so the goats can't get through as well as ghosts. It's very effective.
I mean, there's also just threat, like Marin will threaten with an electroplasmic ammunition, be like, "I'll shoot you."
Okay.
Won't be
I can
fun
use,
for
like,
anyone.
The sigils and stuff I've been investigating. Like, I can't technically make a ghost resistant thing yet, but I can be like, here's a rune I nicked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just wave it about at you till you go the opposite
Holding
direction.
a cross up.
Yeah.
Well, we got Spirit Bane charms. That might help a little bit.
Yeah.
You just be like,
Yeah.
So do we
I
want
could
to try
assist
that
there.
route? like see if we can secure a spot in one of the buildings on that square and like, with a
I'm
Yep.
on board with
like
it. because,
worst case
like,
scenario, we shoot one of them. Cause some chaos.
That's the point, yeah. Ultimately, it was like, you just have to disrupt the meeting. If we just kill one of them, that disrupts the meeting.
But also bear in mind that if they think the meeting was disrupted by an outside force, it might cause them
Yeah,
to
it'll
band
probably
together. You've
just
got to be
go
very
that.
careful how you do it.
True.
We need to
Yeah,
be
I'm in
discreet.
favor of sending the ghost at them, because no matter how close we are to them, we want the ghost to be locked onto Lysa. So
Like unless we're
either way, we
physically
want to
standing next to Lysa, I don't think like we can pop open the bottle and have the ghost be close enough.
It's way easier for a ghost to just fling itself into a courtyard surrounded by guards than it is for us to do that and then release the ghost.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we try and do it. Yeah?
Whew. All right.
I will say, just from a mechanical point of view, if you send the ghost at them, going through them, we'll make a roll-off between the ghost tier and their tier to see what happens. And it might well be interesting. If you let the ghost off right next to Lysa, like for some reason you managed to let it off right next to her, effectively it will just be her and the ghost. And also,
do we feel like we'd
Schaefer.
have a way to set it off right next to her?
That's a few. You had a plan about maybe shooting it, but you need to disguise it and leave it there. So if you think you could pull that off, you can attempt that.
Can I drop it from a bird?
No, it's too heavy. Sorry.
That's totally fair.
Keep giving heavier and heavier things to Naden.
Come on, Naden.
Just
Are we
do
not
like a
doing
small
the
montage.
I think we should do the compel. I mean,
Are we going to do the
it
compel
clears
route?
more things
And I think that
out of our control, but if you succeed in getting it to do the thing, then it should
Yeah.
go there. And
it just does the thing. And also, Ruby told Roric that she would make sure he got his vengeance. So I think like this is her making good on that, and maybe she has a ghost friend. Because she's into the
Sounds good to me.
more ghost friends.
Okay,
yeah.
so your
all
approach
right.
is effectively a weird approach. You're going to
Yeah.
Can I
send the
like
ghost.
can I matchmake one ghost with another ghost and then they like
Ghost babies? This isn't
Yeah.
The Sims.
I have an idea.
Oh no.
Okay.
So I think our goal is to find like a spot in like to get into one of those buildings, right? To like be nearby with like a view of the square. I think would be the ideal place to let the ghost out.
Yeah.
So we can like point at the thing.
Okay.
We'll need to find a discreet place nearby.
In which case,
Is there like a warehouse or something?
no.
Oh, it's a marketplace,
really
right?
Warehouses. There's a few market
Like a
like type shops
square,
around there, but
so I
above them
assume-
they've got like individual houses and flats. You can find one of those
Homes.
flats probably quite easily.
Yeah.
Can we Airbnb a flat?
I mean, Airbnb in this world is probably just air, bird, and bird. It's just birds just like finding places to roost on rooftops. But as a plan, that seems enough to be able to do your fortune roll. You would have 1 dice as normal. You'd get +1 dice for having the Ghost of Roric helping you out. You'd have -1 dice for reasons. So you are on 1 dice for your fortune roll.
Okay. Now, should we decide on load?
You need to decide on your load as well.
I'm gonna take a normal load.
Are we gonna do this when we get back from the break?
Yes, I
I'm
just want
probably
to do
gonna
the
take a
setup.
normal
I'm
load.
thinking of taking a light load. So I can
Maybe
run
hidden.
away easily.
I'll take normal because I'm
Normal
gonna be
doesn't
doing
really
this.
impede your running abilities.
It would impede your ability to blend in quite as well, but that's about it. Norm is like you've
I'm
got
wondering if I should
backpack and some
go-
things around you. Heavy is like you are tooled the fuck up.
I'm wondering if I should go heavy, then I can have some arcane implements, and I can do the armor tank thing where I'm just like, you don't take 2 levels of
It's not a
damage.
bad idea.
I stand in the
mean,
way.
Yeah, it would help me for sure.
I go with heavy.
If things
and
go
I
bad,
Okay.
hide more.
I'm going with normal then.
Okay.
Don't like the idea that we have -1 die for reasons.
So
Yeah.
the spirit bottle, because you're going to literally use it right at the beginning, won't count against your load because you don't have to move it during the mission. You are literally letting it loose as the very first thing you're planning to do. If the dice say something else happens, then one of you will need to have that on you if something happens before you let it loose. But other
I'll
than that,
carry
it'll
it
be
on
fine.
me and I can just have it as my lost and found.
Cool. In which case, it is completely invisible right up until you release it. Who would like to make me the 1 dice fortune roll?
Why don't we do this when we get back from break?
I want to do it beforehand so that people can be like, oh no.
Do you want me to do it?
Okay, thank you,
Yes,
Lauren.
please.
All right, we ready? One die
Mhm.
engagement.
Is it smart?
Perfect.
Oh,
It's a 2.
that's a fail.
The position
Really
is
hoping I might
desperate.
have that luck.
And when we get back from the break, we'll find out why. Enjoy some
Oh
fan art. We'll be
my
back in a
god!
few
Because
minutes.
we're in the middle of a marketplace. Ugh.
Someone's fucking with us.
Hello, and welcome back to Lays in the Dark on Roll For It, where we've just done our engagement roll.
We're fucked.
That is what that is called.
It was
yes.
real bad.
We all sit down and have a nice cup of tea.
We just bail out. We just bail out now.
You find yourself
That was our engagement roll for our easy one.
Sure, you just your engagement roll for just getting some snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You find yourself a small abandoned flat above one of the shops, and you make your way in, no problem, effortless, as the reliable connoisseurs that you are of your trade. You look down from the window and you wait. You wait. A few hours later, you notice people start congregating in the square, looking around. A few of the gangs, they seem to be looking at each other, and there's definitely a lot of tension. Someone sets up a tiny little table in the middle and a couple of chairs. A lot of people actually who come in just like, what's going? Back away, This is crow territory right now. And a lot of people are directed elsewhere as the crows take over the coal market.
There was a table, you see. We could have done the vase of flowers thing.
I was thinking we should have buried and then set up a grenade next to the spirit bottle, and then
Mm-hmm.
ghost pops out of the ground.
That would be terrifying.
And you notice after a little while, a few more minutes pass,
Flashback, that's what we did.
Lysa shows up with some very well-armed, heavily armed goons around her.
That makes sense.
A couple of blue coats start lingering at the corner when she does. Just look over. She seems to recognize and look at them, and they give her a slight nod. You recognize that they're definitely here by her request. At the other end of the square, one of the individuals looks over, a bit bigger than the others, a little bit older, a little bit more scarred, and definitely, by his body language, a lot more respected. Even by the other crows with Lysa. They seem to be at least acknowledging he's there and paying attention. When he says something, they all seem to hesitate. Not in a way that Lysa even gets. Lysa is very much more a fighter who gets respect by dint of her abilities, not respect because she's been there a while or earned it in any long-term fashion.
I know, the tension's killing me. I know you're building up to something and it hurts. It hurts. What happens? What goes wrong?
I think he's just not going to tell us, and we're going to do our thing, and then we're going to find out.
It hurts so bad.
And the time comes where you look down at the spirit bottle and you pull it out from where the ruby was hiding it. It just miraculously appears, almost like being pulled out of thin air. And you realize that there is a crack down one side.
Dumb balls.
And there is this horrible sound of what appears to be a gust of wind going through a very tiny area as it splits.
That sounds like a tiny fart.
It sounds like a hurricane going through a partially closed door.
I mean, if that's how you want to describe it.
I'm now imagining we go sneaking up. There's there's music playing as we sneak by through the crowds and then into a dark alley, and we get to the edge of the courtyard and we're like, okay, let's go. Get the bottle. You pull it out. There's just this fart noise. It lasts a really, really long time. And you look, we look down the crack and there's not a ghost in there anymore.
Edwin, that's disgusting.
But with that,
wasn't me.
A ghost miraculously appears, a huge vortex of wind and noise that just starts moving around the room, slamming all the objects that are not nailed down against walls. You are all thrown off your feet. That's the first consequence. Secondly, it's a ghost. It's also a ghost not summoned by Ruby's ability, so it causes existential dread and terror. You all feel this sensation of this is not natural, this is something from beyond, this is something that is not meant to be here. I need to just go. I need to freeze. I am afraid. This is something from beyond, and it inspires terror down to the very core of your being. There is a small part of your brain that just knows this is wrong.
Don't we get to roll for that?
That is a second effect. We'll get to that in a second.
All right.
And the third effect is, which is just a single effect, is the shutters are blown wide open and off out into the square, which would alert everyone.
Our cover.
You may resist each of these effects independently. All of them will be resist rolls. Being knocked off your feet is a prowess resist roll. Being supernaturally afraid is a resolve resist roll. And keeping the shutters from being blown over, just one person can resist that. And you may resist that as you wish.
Someone said instead of roll for it, it's run for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to roll prowess first.
If you want to not be knocked off your feet and take level 1 harm.
Yeah, I think
can
all of us would
accept-
probably.
Now, some of you might not want to resist. There's going to be a lot of stress coming.
Yeah, I'm looking at my. I actually, if there's a risk that I might just take trauma if I.
Yeah, same here.
resist
Yeah.
roll. So what I'm going to do instead,
Y'all that stressed out. Why didn't we take the easy job first?
because
What
this had a
easy
time
job?
limit. So I'm going to expend my special armor to resist consequence of surprise or mental harm. So I think that would count for the existential dread. It says mental harm and in brackets, fear, confusion, losing track of someone.
That makes sense.
Okay.
You
so,
can also use that if you
Marin
wished
is
on
focused.
the window. Just so you know, because that would be a surprise.
Yeah, do we want to? But the thing is so in my mind as a player, I don't think I can act on the window if I'm experiencing existential dread. Like, what does the existential dread?
It happens all
count
at the
as?
same time, so you can resist them in any order you wish. Like, the existential dread can set in just after you stop the window, because that's resisting a surprise. So, like, you see, just as the window starts to billow open, as the ghost starts to release but isn't fully there, you could stop the window,
Okay,
and then
okay,
the ghost
so
will set.
I-
You can
okay,
choose which
cool.
order, because they're happening all simultaneously.
Cool. Okay, then that makes sense. I just in my mind they didn't work. I don't
Totally.
think I can make a resist roll because I risk just. I might make one.
It's up to you. I mean, you can use a special armor and deal with someone else can do the window. It's up to whoever deals with what.
What are people thinking? So I'm going to use my special armor on one or the other. I'm not necessarily the most helpful person in this instance, so being around the ghost isn't like if I like book it out of the room and then like I can assume like recover my faculties at some point to be helpful, like if someone comes and tries to shoot us.
Yeah.
I
You have to
can
escape the
definitely
scene
be careful.
effectively, and you can come back when the current issue has vacated.
I have a decent chance at a prowess roll. I also will probably use my armor for the falling over. I can also save one other person by expending to basically protect one other person, probably from the falling over. And it'll probably be Ruby, right? Because Ruby needs to be
I need to
capable
compel the ghost.
during
I need
this.
to.
Yeah. Okay, so if I take care of the window, and then Marin can just fall over and be afraid, like that would be fine.
Okay. So you fall over, take level 1 harm, which is winded.
And then, but I spend my special armor for the window. Then, Papa, what are you gonna do?
Papa will expend special armor and normal armor to resist falling over and also help Ruby resist it. I protect Ruby. Basically, I stand
And then you will
firm.
also be afraid.
I
unless you
will
want to
also be
make a roll
terrified.
Or resolve.
Yeah, I can't do anything
That's up to
about
you.
that.
Are you also potentially running the risk of getting trauma by making a resist roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
When you expend your
Oh,
special armor to protect
no,
teammate,
this
unlock
is
yourself
not
for
good.
regeneration. Okay, yeah, you mastermind. You're expending your special armor then.
Yes, the mastermind
Okay.
ability.
So Ruby isn't knocked over and doesn't take harm. Papa's going to resist. So
Yes,
make
I
me
don't
that
know whether
resist
to
roll
do-
with prowess. Or you'll need armor.
I don't want to risk it. I'm going to use armor.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to use my armor for the level 1 harm.
Sure. In which case, yeah, don't take winded. You get knocked backwards, but your armor prevents you from getting really winded by being knocked over entirely, and you manage to just push yourself back to your feet without having
Just,
to.
like grabs the window and then like
Yeah. Your face smacks into it.
just into the wall.
Like from
You
outside,
close
we
the-
see all like a few of the crows look up with the sound of a boom.
Doom.
Like they look up at the window, like, huh, and it's just rattling a bit.
Close the window with your forehead.
Papa, are you kicking your normal armor as well? Ruby's
Yeah,
taking
using
special
normal
from
armor
you.
and bracing Ruby.
Sure.
so that-
Edwine, what are you doing about the physical?
I'll use
Sorry,
my normal armor for that.
Normal
I
armor
can
kicks
roll
in.
for
Okay, so
resolve.
everyone armors up versus wax on, wax off against the getting knocked over.
But
Existential
Ruby
dread.
doesn't need to. So she's protected.
Yeah, Ruby's not using Papa's one. So who is resisting existential dread?
I'm
Nah.
gonna give that a shot.
Okay,
I
Edwine's
probably
going for
should.
it. Ruby's going for it. Those are resolve.
This could go very wrong for me.
Well, you resist it regardless. It's just a question.
You can't push yourself, right?
No. You take 2 stress,
Okay.
Edwine.
That's all right.
5?
You take 1. It's
1
6
stress.
minus
Okay,
that.
1 stress.
Nice.
So you both resist it regardless. It's just a question of how much stress you take.
Yeah.
Papa and I, however,
Yeah. Would you like to freeze or would you like to flee? Your choice.
I think Ruby would. Marin.
Fleeing makes sense. Is like you can also freeze if you want.
I think she flees. Like I think she like the instinct. I think she grabs the shutters and then just like closes it and
Throws the bolt on it and then.
yeah, just like knocks it down and she's like, I'm going to make sure no one gets in. Like she spits out an excuse for why she's leaving the room.
Scrabbles
And I
against
think
the
it's
wall,
just
finds
like
the door, and just
animal
pushes
terror
through.
that she doesn't understand
Totally.
kicks in.
Papa.
Papa is going to run as well.
Papa
Yep.
turns and goes with Marin, and both of them book it to a point where they can just gather their wits down the end of the corridor, down the stairs, wherever it is, and just recover themselves.
Yep.
Edwine, Ruby, you both resist this gnawing sensation, the sensation that says this is way above your station, beyond your physical reality, and you need to GTFO right now. Both of you manage to steel yourselves and look up as the ghost of Roric appears in front of you, but it is no longer quite as corporeal as before. The edges are not quite as defined. It is more fractious. There is a lot more air, a lot more essence just flowing in and out, and it seems to be darker, and there seem to be slight sparks of energy inside. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab Edwin and be like, "We've got to control this. We've got to get it under control." And I start grabbing like stuff out of my jacket pockets, and I am gonna sit down and try to compel it.
Okay.
Madness is already taking hold of him, but perhaps he'll remember who killed him.
All right.
I start rooting around for implements and things.
I'm
as
going to
well.
use compel, which is I can attune to a ghost field, force a nearby ghost to appear, and obey a command I give it.
Okay. In this case, because the reason you got -1 dice is because the time has gone past, and Roric has now fully degenerated. He is no longer really with it. He is very much traumatized out. Because of that, you will be at a limited, unless you push yourself. If you push yourself, you can make that up to a standard effect, but it is a desperate position. Edwine, if you wish to assist, you may do so by marking off a Spirit Bane charm. That would allow you to assist.
Okay. I'm gonna be desperate, and you said it would be limited.
Limited unless you push yourself. You can push yourself to make it standard.
I think I'll push myself for a better dice.
I don't
What do you guys
have
think?
a Spirit Bane charm amongst my normal gear. Would it just be that I've got one from
I
Ruby,
think every
or
playbook has one.
You should have one in your standard tools.
I might just miss
It's
it.
items under your character should be in the gray box.
Oh, maybe you don't.
No, the grey box is like special stuff for your class.
I think every class has a Spirit Bane charm though,
I
because
thought
I
every class did. You don't.
Not everyone does. Some have Demon Bane charms, some have Spirit
Yeah.
Bane.
I have both Demon Bane and Spirit Mask.
Oh, Spirit Bane
Oh, you
charm's
should use
different
the
though.
Spirit Mask, because
The
doesn't that
Spirit
give you
Mask.
potency?
Spirit Mask
it
will give you
does.
That would
this.
increase your effect.
Yeah, Mask does that.
What is the quality
Okay.
of the spirit mask?
Fine.
Fine. That will have an effect. Because it just pushes you up to make it another level.
It'll make it what?
It makes it a standard effect.
Standard. Okay.
Because that makes you tier 2. Because it's effectively fine is like +1 to your tier. Your tier is 1. That makes you tier 2.
I also have a fine lightning hook.
If you're going to try and chuck him in a bottle, that would have an effect. In this case,
Okay.
no. Edwine, in this case, you don't really have any way of really assisting that I can think of. If
I've
you can
got
think of one. that makes
Arcane
sense.
implements. They're presumably something of that effect.
They're not really for dealing with ghosts. They're more for like making or developing something or altering something.
Like, in terms of the flavor, my intention was to use the research I've been doing on the runes to make something that would push it vaguely in the correct direction.
If you're going to make something, you would need to make something. There is a.
But we did our downtime before we got the mission, so
You can spend a coin right now.
You can spend a coin if you wish to
Take
do
a
something.
downtime action.
I don't have any. We have 2 in the.
Yeah.
I would
go for
probably
it.
recommend not, just because it does involve trying to get hold of something, which would be either coin to acquire an asset or make something which requires you to make a clock.
Can I assist with an attune or something then?
Sure, you could assist with an attune. You could do a setup roll for an attune.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay, setup roll for an attune. Go for it.
This isn't going to make it worse if I mess up, right?
No, it will just get you a consequence. The consequence
do I need
is
to-
desperate.
Oh, so should I set it to desperate?
It will be desperate.
Okay,
And
desperate.
setup
Gabe
will be
result, though,
limited,
if you when you roll.
Yeah, you will just get an XP in your resolve track for rolling this.
All right, here we go.
Okay,
A 4.
it succeeds. So with that, you manage to just attune yourself to the lightning barrier, and you try and feel the spirit in front of you. You know what you've done with research, but actually physically interacting with it in this way is very strange. You can feel emotions and sensations bleeding over, and it's very discomforting. But you do assist. Ruby can take the +1 die, but you also suffer the consequence, and this is desperate, so feel free to mark the XP. Lauren?
Setup actions don't give you an extra die.
Which
That
what do
would
they
be
do?
for a help, and for a help, he would have just taken 1 stress. So if you got him to roll,
What
he
does
was
the
doing a
setup do?
setup. Improves effect or
Sorry,
improves
improves effect.
position.
Sorry,
so
yeah,
Ruby
improved-
could now
improved
roll
effect.
from a standard position or have a great effect.
Yeah. Do you want to have great effect or standard position, Ruby?
I'll do great effect.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
In which case, Edwine, you still suffer the issue, which is that he lashes out at you, and you go through the wall.
Okay, yeah. There's a moment where I'm like, Roric, remember who you are, and then he's like, ah, and smashes me.
You go through the wall. It's level 2 harm,
Oof.
and you also suffer level 2 harm dazed, as your mind goes blank and you feel these emotions surging through you. The level 2
is
harm
that 2
for
level 2s or 1 level 2?
2 level 2s. Bear in mind that second level 2 is a temporary one. At the end of the scene, it will disappear. You may resist it as normal.
Okay.
If you resist that one, you will resist it entirely, not lower it. The first one is normal.
Okay. I've used normal armor. Can I now use heavy armor or to?
You can use
help,
heavy
or
armor
does
on that
not
first
work?
one to lower it down to level 1.
No, I already have all level 1, so I guess it doesn't.
If you do that and then you resist it, it'll go to 0.
I'm already quite stressed.
All right.
It's
I'm-
not worth the risk. I'm just gonna have to take the harm.
Okay, you take level 2 harm, smashed through a wall, and then you take level 2 harm dazed, which becomes level 3 harm.
Why?
You got 2 level 2 boxes. You're right. Level 2 harm dazed as well. Sorry.
Okay.
I got the boxes wrong for a moment. Your level 2s fill out. Dazed is only mental effects, so you can still do stuff physically. It will affect mental effects, though. Ruby, you have great effect desperate position. Mark a tick on your resolve track and feel free to roll.
Yep. And I'm going to push myself.
+1 die.
+1 die. Here we go. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Mm-hmm. So am I.
6.
6!
Nice.
What do you do?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Ruby, has this conversation with Edwin and immediately sits down, puts the spirit mask on and starts like doing this incantation. And slowly, you see in her vision, everything around her kind of like changes into like this ghost field, right? So everything's kind of like you can see through stuff. There's spirits kind of walking around. And she kind of hones in on Roric, who's kind of lashing out, and she says, "I promised you. It's your turn for vengeance."
You get a slight response when you say vengeance. Nothing else seems to register, but the word vengeance does seem to get a response, and that is why you cut through. What do you do?
You know what you're here for.
It suddenly begins to focus and pay attention to you, smashes Edwine through the wall, and begins to coalesce and pull around you. You're now wreathed in this little tempest, like a mini tornado inside. Around you, you can see chairs, bits of table. There's maybe like part of a painting just flying past as everything rotates around you. And you just hear one word shouted out loud that makes everything vibrate. Where?
Liza. In the market. You came here for her.
You barely finish that sentence as it smashes through the wall and removes the shutters completely as it dives out to the square.
Jokes on you, Marin.
I'll stay there. Like, my eyes are like rolled back, and she's just gonna kind of like try to follow him.
You can look out the window if you wish.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is scary. She stands up, like, kind of creepy, and walks forward. Her eyes still like rolled back, and so it's like white. And she stands looking out the window.
You can get very quick peeks and still get an idea of what's going on. If you wish to intervene in any way, you'd have to make some sort of hide roll. But for the quick peeks as you look out, I need someone to do me a favor and to roll as the crows.
Yeah, I'm wearing a mask, the spirit mask as well.
Who would like to roll as the crows for this?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. Roll me 2 dice, and Ruby, please roll as Roric. You can roll with +1 dice, because effectively he's been assisted. Roll 3 dice, fortune rolls.
Fortune rolls. Oh, 3 dice. Okay. You want to roll first, or you want me to roll first?
Ruby should roll first, because you're the one attacking
I will
effectively.
roll first. 3.
Oh. And
Ugh.
Papa?
No.
5.
Oh, no.
Okay. The tempest that is Roric roars down into the square, smashes through 2 crows who are sent flying, just go completely off the side of the market and into a wall, spinning as they hit it and crashing into the ground. One of them hits another one of the compatriots before getting smashed into a small pile of people. Roric begins to appear in the middle of the square, starts shouting, which no one seems to understand very well since he is speaking an arcane spirit language. But Liza stares and reacts quickly. Her senses well honed for a lifetime spent in the gutter. She pulls out a pistol and starts firing, and there is a response from Roric. It looks like the bullets are hurting him. The crows around all seem to react slowly and with different responses. Some of them start fleeing. Some of them freeze in place, but a couple do start returning fire, and one of them off to the side pulls on a spirit mask and starts walking forwards, hands out and starting to incant, one of them wrapped up with a small silver chain with a small pendant at the bottom. On the other side, you notice Schaefer, completely blank, just steps back, looks at the rest of his crows, and they don't get involved. Roric takes repeated fire and seems to be getting pushed back by the whisper. You make the roll again. This time, Ruby, no +1 dice because the initiative is lost.
Can I do anything as Ruby to assist him?
You could try. It would get you involved, and you would be looking down at a group of potentially 15 to 20 crows, so it's up to you.
I mean, we are daring.
I could get involved. Like,
You're
I
not in
can't
the
directly help Roric, but I
now
could
he's left,
definitely
you
disrupt.
come back into the room because you only went through one wall. Like, you can get up and come back in like a few seconds later.
Dusting plasterboard off myself. But yeah,
would you give me a devil's bargain?
Uh-oh.
Depends what you'd be rolling and what the situation would be.
I think what she'd be rolling is, because she's still in the ghost field, is to like kind of like motivate him, I guess. Like,
There's no real way you can do that. You can tell him and point him in a direction, but there's no way you can really do anything like that. There are some moves that can do certain things close, or there could be some advanced rituals and so on, but there's nothing you have that would be able to amp up spirit in any way or motivate him. He's beyond most reason.
Okay.
Edwine, did you want to
Basically, I was gonna like compel him to be like, you can do better than this?
He's already sufficiently compelled. He is acting
Okay.
with the full most of his power.
All right then. I guess I will.
So- Well, I'm thinking I could help by getting the Crow's Way and stopping them attacking Roric, because I can just start chucking bottles of whatever I feel like into the courtyard.
I thought the grenades
Oh,
might come
God.
up now.
I wasn't
Then they're gonna know
thinking
where
grenades.
we're at. That sounds like a bad idea.
I wasn't gonna do grenades.
What were you thinking?
Some
smoke bombs.
sorts of poisons. Smoke bombs would be good.
The
just-
poisons aren't in grenade form. They're like effectively like dart form. Like you'd have to individually target people. You can make grenades. It's one of the things you can start making for them, like ways to disperse them bigger.
You do have smoke bombs. Like if
You
you,
do have
can
smoke
do
bombs.
anything, I would do those.
Yeah, probably makes most sense.
I don't.
I could be more offensive and do like powders and poisons and things that can interfere with people. But smoke bombs are built for this, so I guess it's probably the best thing to use.
You can go for a wreck if you wish. Then in that case, with I assume it would be a standard risky because otherwise it would be desperate. Except for the fact that they're all kind of at tension on Roric now. If you wish, you may up that to. No, it won't be standard. It would be limited because there's a lot of them. The number would reduce it. If you wish, you can expose yourself longer and make sure you aim them, but it would be desperate because their response would be overwhelming.
I think I'm gonna stay hidden and go for the less accurate, just chucking bombs in the general direction and hope it works.
You sure?
I don't want them to see me. That seems bad.
Sure.
Especially because they like Lysa knows my face and all our
Are-
faces.
Marin and Papa in the room again.
Oh, you could come back to the room. You wouldn't be able to approach the spirit yet, though, so you wouldn't be able to look out the window.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. That's fair. Yeah, we'll go back into the room.
Yeah.
Just
Let's
like
take
as
Marin and
we
Papa come
see
back in.
Edwine like about to toss a grenade out the window.
Yeah. Edwine, remember it's limited effect, so if you do want to up that.
Yeah. As they come back into the room, I'm like, this should distract them. You can stop me if you want.
No,
I don't have any
you
better
said you
ideas.
didn't do it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
With
stop
your
you.
consequences.
I'm in
Bentha.
like I
Yeah.
can't even see you right now. I'm in like ghost world right now.
Oh, you can see him. It's just like there's a lot of distortion going on.
He looks weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fleshy person.
Yeah, I'm gonna chuck a smoke grenade out the window.
You're going for
So-
limited.
Oh, I can see his
risky?
spirit.
yeah,
What does
we'll
his
do that.
spirit look like?
Unless you tried to focus in on it, there wouldn't be much detail. You just know that he had a
Mm.
spirit, and you could maybe get some vague sense of emotions, etc.
Right, here
Okay.
we go.
At least I know Edwine has a spirit.
4.
Oh.
I'll take it.
It freaks me out because it pauses and it doesn't show the number, and then you're like,
Like the roll
Yep.
has happened, but
I
what-
love
Yeah.
it because of that. It's so much tension. You go and you just like take a second, and you lob it without trying to think too much, and you do. It goes straight down, boom, 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 lands nearby. Not particularly cutting off a big group, but there are a couple of them off to the side who are like, what? As this like little bottle just comes down everywhere. However, a couple of them do spot you and take snapshots. You would suffer level 2 harm. Ricochet.
Do you have heavy armor? Can you do that?
I've already used my basic armor, so the heavy armor could only reduce it, and I can't because I have 2 at level 2 and 2 at level 1. Wait, was this level 2 harm? Did you
Level
say?
2 harm.
Could resist it.
So I could heavy armor and resist.
Actually, you've got level 1 harm Kool-Aid Man, right?
Yeah, level 2 harm Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, that reduces your dice pool by 1, so I need you to re-roll.
Yeah.
Oh.
Re-roll.
Balls.
-1 dice. Please remember your wound modifiers.
Okay.
Hey, maybe you'll roll a 6.
Limited. Oh. I don't think I can take away dice. There's only bonus dice. Oh no, there's negatives. It goes 1
Yeah.
to 6, and then -1, -2, -3 at the bottom of the list.
Oh, that's a big
1.
way of.
Critical failure.
Oh, why? 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 Why?
With
is-
that-
Why?
You don't even get the bottle off. As you pull it out and you pull the pin and you go to throw it, you look down, but unfortunately you time this particularly poorly. One of them is just looking up in your direction, wondering what's going on, and they see you and they fire a quick snapshot. The bullet pings off mortar nearby, hits you in the shoulder, you fall backwards, the bottle rolls backwards and fills the room. You suffer level 2 harm.
It was the plan all along. Now we can escape in the mist.
We're just like about to open the door and then just sees the smoke filling like, and they'll just never mind.
Like you come back in, you see Edwin go to throw a grenade, lands on the floor, you both duck out, and it doesn't explode, it just goes and then you look back in again, and it's just terrible.
The choice I have now is either to take level 3 harm and need help, or to risk taking trauma by resisting it.
Joyce.
Do you take
Here's the
trauma
thing,
when you
unless
hit
you-
9 stress, or if you were to take more?
When you mark the last one.
When you mark the last one.
Oh god, yeah. So I'd have to roll very well.
If you take level 3 harm, you are fine. You don't die, but it means that you have to push yourself to do anything.
Yeah. This is need help, so presuming I'm alive, but not much else.
Would you wish to do, Edwin?
I think I'm just gonna have to take the harm.
Yeah, the ricochet bounces off your armor as it's going to hit you in the side of the shoulder, and then actually pings off into the side of your face, smashing you along just below the eye and off the top. Big welt of blood just starts pouring down the side of your face, and your eye is just bruised instantly as it swells up, and you find yourself knocked backwards, barely able to focus as you're on the ground.
That's not good. It's good.
From the ground, I'm like, that didn't work.
Okay. Papa, roll me the 2 dice fortune roll for the crows, Ruby for Roric.
Okay.
Ruby just turns to look at Edwin and is like, "Why did you do that?" And then, because she's still in the spirit thing, and then I'll roll for Roric. Is it fortune roll you said, and 3?
2 dice for both of you. He's lost the initiative, so he doesn't get a +1 dice now.
4.
4. With that,
Woo!
Roric manages to push forwards. A couple of them look up at this window that's now smoking, and it distracts a couple of people who were firing, and Roric takes the opportunity to smash several of them to the side. There's also discharge of lightning, you see, as the Whisper walks forwards, is hit by a lightning bolt that emanates from somewhere near Roric, and is just completely fried, crumples to the ground, smoldering. Roric advances on Lysa. Both of them are effectively now vulnerable. He lost the first one, she lost the second one. It's going to come down to a third roll. If any of you want to do an action to intervene, you may.
Uh,
And I'm not saying that like you should do this. I'm saying this is an opportunity, a
I
possibility.
have nothing I can do.
Yeah, I mean, you have pistols. You can try and snipe people or something. You can make a distraction. I don't know, like, but weirdly, you might not want to. It's up to you.
I don't think our like job. We wanted to disrupt the meeting. I think we've done that. It wasn't
Totally.
contingent on her dying.
Oh, totally.
No.
So Marin is like puts her scarf on and like goes in and drags Edwine out, being like, I don't understand why you did that.
Okay. Do you want to GTFO?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Appa, Ruby, make me one last roll.
Before they come to their senses and look.
Okay,
out the
2 dice?
smoking window.
Mhm.
6! 2 6s!
Crit.
Critical! Yes! Oh
Nice.
my god!
critical 5!
Oh,
Oh,
my
no.
It
god!
doesn't matter.
This
It
is
doesn't
like
matter.
this
It's
is
all
the
over.
struggle. Holy
With the
shit!
Whisper down, we see the group start to leave.
wow.
And as we pull the camera back, the Whisper down, Roric starts to advance on Lysa. Lysa starts firing up, being pushed back, and then there's a sudden gust of wind that brings her in, and she's in the tornado. And lightning strikes here from all sides. The tempest gets bigger and bigger. Clouds start to appear overhead. Dark inside the lightning field as more lightning bolts hit down, each one hitting her and frying her repeatedly. Every single crow around is either fleeing, frozen, or several of them just getting swept up into it and also getting hit by static discharge as cracks, repeated thunder cracks. emanate. You can hear them echoing around the building nearby. The buildings shake. I was going to have you roll to escape without being noticed. Fair to say this is a distraction that means you don't need to do that, as Lysa is burned alive by repeated lightning bolts.
Oh, that's unfortunate for her.
And Roric becomes incredibly powerful and rogue. Your mission is over. You managed to leave.
Oh, no, it's not.
Well, that's a shame. Let's
no,
leave.
it's not. Ruby, they might go, but Ruby had no plans of leaving.
Oh,
Ruby's
no.
grinning from ear to ear, a little creepy, and she's just staring. But you can't see because she's got the mask on. But behind, she's just like, and now her spirit is wobbly. And then she grabs out of her thing another bottle and a lightning hook, and she's gonna try to put it back in the bottle.
You would have to go down into the square. Like, you have to be physically next to the ghost. If you want to go into the square, you can. There's a lot of shit going down in that square.
Remember the part where last time we were all in fantastic health going into the catching of ghost and then came out battered?
Actually, I don't have to go down there. I can compel him to me, and I can tell him to get in the bottle.
You can certainly try.
I'm just saying, I don't have to go down there.
You can certainly try.
I can roll for it.
You can
Oh,
roll
God.
for it.
Meanwhile, Papa picks up Edwine and drags with Marin like, Edwine, why did you do that?
I was trying to distract the crows from with the ghost.
Ruby, let's go. We need to leave.
Yes, let's...
You realize that Ruby's not with you. She's still in the room full of smoke. It's hard to see. It's very dense in there. The smoke grenade is still one of Edwine's creations, and they're very good at what they do. Unless you
I'm
literally
gonna
go
let
up
Maggie
and...
do this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm guessing this is desperate.
Oh, hell yes. In fact, is there one beyond desperate?
I think that's desperate is the most.
Yeah, I think it's just desperate.
Unless it's a fortune roll, but yeah.
No, it's just desperate. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is the upper tier of desperate. Like, this is...
Desperate 0?
No, it's just be desperate.
You're probably gonna die.
I
Desperate.
think the effect from
Limited.
here would be 0, because he's also going to have a hard time hearing you. But you could, if you wanted to get closer, you could. You can also
I'm
choose to
using
bump
my
up.
fine lightning hook.
Okay. Funnily enough,
that
that will allow you to do
be
this, but it will have
limited.
no further effect because he is a tier above the lightning hook right now. He effectively just went up a tier. He's now tier 3.
And I have the lightning hook and I have spirit bottles.
I think, along with your spirit mask and everything, and your relationship to him, because you did allow him to do this, that will combined bump it up to limited. Like, you just
Okay.
get limited with him because he's gone up a tier now. He's more powerful.
And I'm going to push myself.
Okay. Okay. Would you like to? Sure. Okay.
Should I push myself for great or push myself for the more dice?
It wouldn't make
You
it great. It would
push
push it
yourself for
standard.
standard.
Yeah.
Or push myself to standard.
Would you like an extra dice? I can go back in and help.
You would have to resist the consequence of being near him.
Yeah, okay, never mind. You're on your own.
Yeah.
No, I have I have multiple bottles.
I would recommend if you
people who
wanted
are,
to
like,
do this. Oh yeah, yeah.
asking
The
about
load
the
includes
crack
multiple
bottle.
bottles.
Yeah.
I would recommend if you wanted to do this to put it to standard, because limited effect will not get you what you want. Like, it'll get you starting the route, but it won't get you him in a bottle. If you standard it, the effect will be he gets in a bottle. So I'd recommend you push the.
Okay,
the-
I push myself to standard then.
Okay, standard desperate. Feel free to roll it. This is your 3 dice attune. Desperate, you can mark XP.
Hold on. I can spend a coin, right, for a flashback?
No, you can spend stress for a
You
flashback.
can spend stress for a flashback. It depends what the flashback is and if it would make sense, and then we can.
What can I spend a coin on then?
Coin would be to
a
get an
downtime
additional
action.
downtime action.
Yeah, or as part of a flashback. Like, if you go flashback, I bribe the guard. You could be okay. Spend me a coin and sure, and it'll be this much stress. In this sense, I'm not sure there's much you can flashback, but if you have an idea, I'm open.
Well, I was thinking about chatting with a friend of mine to potentially ask them something.
What
But
would you want to
If
ask
that's not
them?
going to help me in this situation, then maybe
It
not
probably
worry
wouldn't.
about
There
it.
wouldn't be much that they could say to you to help you.
Okay.
This
Ready?
is an unforeseen consequence that we're dealing with, so sure. It's 3 dice. I will tell you right now, if you fail this roll or don't fully complete it, you might still get in the bottle. If you just get a partial, he'll still get in the bottle because that is you being successful. The consequences are more than level 3 harm.
You're saying I'm gonna die?
You can always resist it.
Okay. I can't resist it. All right, here we go.
Oh god.
This is the moment I might die.
Okay, roll it.
I mean, you can just get trauma. Like that seems like you. This is what you're setting yourself up for.
4.
Okay. What we see is Ruby leaning out of the window, shouting over the din in an arcane tongue that none of you understand, but you can hear emanating from the direction of the room full of smoke. She has a lightning hook in one hand, a bottle in the other, and she is telling the storm to get in the bottle. And the storm calms in front of her. The rest of it still rages as this giant hurricane, this vortex, as people fly past, but it calms in front and a face vaguely coalesces. And you hear why. And you command it. You tell it to get in the bottle, and you beseech it. And as lightning discharges, it finds itself inevitably drawn towards you. You can feel it almost leaning back like it's trying to stay away, as it's trying to resist your pull. But as you demand it with every fiber of your being, as you pull on the ghost field, you can feel everything in front get sucked towards that bottle. And it resists, and for about 5 seconds, there is a moment when it's slowly moving, and then it begins to touch the bottle. And as soon as it touches the bottle, the entire thing goes into the bottle, and all the lightning discharges through. You take level 4 harm struck by lightning.
Okay, I'm gonna try to resist that.
That'll bring it down to level 3.
What's that?
That'll bring it down to level 3. Feel free to resist.
Do you have enough for armor?
I have 2 more that I could use for armor.
If you've not used armor, you can use armor to bring that down to 3.
I would do that and then choose whether or not you want to resist.
So if I use my 2 armor or my armor, that would bring it down to what?
Level
Bring it down to 3, and then if you then resist again, you could bring it to 2 if you choose.
Okay, I'll do that and then I'll resist again.
So you see the lightning discharge into you, but your metal armor actually acts as a Faraday cage and discharges it around you, avoiding most of your vital organs. You would take level 3 harm, struck by lightning. Do you wish to resist with your prowess?
I do.
Okay.
This is not gonna go well. Can I push
You
myself?
don't have to. You could just.
No, I
end
want to.
there. Okay.
There's no point in pushing yourself when you do a resist roll because you take 2 stress to get an extra dice, which wouldn't really affect you.
I rolled a 1.
You take 5 stress. Does that trauma you out?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Ruby, please mark down. You have Roric in a bottle. You did
Yeah, that
succeed.
makes
He is in a bottle.
Okay.
Please fill your stress track. Take your level 2 harm because you reduced it to level 2,
Okay.
which is shocked.
Shocked. Okay.
And you trauma out. You are helpless. Marin,
I'm
Papa,
helpless.
Edwin, as you look back in, the blast of air dissipates the smoke back towards you through the corridor. And as you look, Ruby's lying on the ground, a bottle next to her, the top still showing a spirit inside, and in the bottle is a dark, roiling cloud. She is completely out of it.
You get the bottle, I'll get Ruby. Oh, God, what did you do?
Edwine, stand here. And she like props him up against the wall because he also needs help.
Ruby's laying on the floor holding the bottle.
Pulls the bottle out of Ruby's hands, tucks it away, and probably in her smuggler's
When you
rigging.
grab it out of her hands, it's almost like she doesn't want to let go of
It's
it.
like you were electrocuted. You're like, no. Just let me take it.
Yep, she's still spasming a bit as well, like one of her feet is kicking.
Pulls it off, tucks it away, and then goes back and gets Edwine.
Yeah, I scoop up Ruby and
We have
I
a
guess let's
mad
leave.
ghost in a bottle now.
As I'm leaning on Marin, I'm like, it seems like the 2 of you had the right idea just running away from that.
I made a choice in the moment. Let's
Told
go.
you to get rid of it.
What's my trauma, EE? Which
That's
one?
for you to decide.
That's for you to decide. I can help guide you if you want some help, but ultimately it's up for you to decide. Cold, haunted, obsessed, paranoid, reckless, soft, unstable, and vicious are your options.
Okay. I think obsessed makes sense.
Considering what you did, yes.
Yeah.
Please
Fun
remove
fact
all
though,
stress
you come
on your
back with
track.
no stress.
And your
I remove all my stress.
and your vice counts as satisfied for the next downtime action. Please bear in mind, now you're traumatized. If you do not satisfy your vice during a downtime, you gain a stress.
Ooh. So I'm
but
gonna
you
take
don't need
stress.
to next downtime action. It counts as satisfied for this one. But yes,
Oh, interesting.
with that, you grab Ruby and you Scarpa, and everyone is very busy as you can hear as several ravens start running circles round that square. The bells in the distance. Ba-dung, 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 ba-dung. You get paid your 5 coin.
Yay.
As
One
like
each and one in a
Papa's
group.
like holding me and carrying me, I'm just like, where's the bottle?
Don't worry, Marin has it.
Yeah, just have Marin walk in front, dangling the bottle, and
On a stick.
really will follow.
So everyone mark 1 coin on your sheet, and then I put 1 in the crew.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, good idea.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, joy. Well played, Maggie. That was a good character choice.
It
God.
made a lot of sense for what she wants to do, so.
You know what? Mark an XP. You may choose what you put it in.
That makes sense. Yes.
I think I have to put it in resolve.
Also, using your playbook advances to get new abilities related to Ghost would also work.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I know you're very close on that one anyway.
No, I put points into resolve before.
Right.
That's how I'm
So-
at 3 sway.
You have your 5 coin, eat, and rep. Okay, do rep first. You earn 2 rep by score by default. If the attack is higher tier, you gain +1 per tier higher. So it was tier 2 organizations you were up against. You made a tier 3, but that wouldn't really count because you weren't really up against them. So that would be 4 rep.
We did capture the tier 3 again after we made it.
You have a tier 3 in a bottle.
Oh, sorry, we're
Oh,
at
you did it.
4 rep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did it.
I was like, I didn't think we had that much.
It wasn't completely quiet, so you do get the rep. And I think considering what happened and your relationship with the Eruvians, the red slashes are going to bump that up to 6 coins. So take an extra coin.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you have a good
I'll-
relationship with them, if there's some problems which seem impressive but well dealt with, they'll be reasonable.
I put that in our crew.
Excellent. Eat.
I don't know what you're talking about, people. That was super quiet. So quiet.
Yeah,
The quietest job
I'm
we've
trying
had.
to call between smooth and quiet or wild and devastating.
Well, the thing
Somewhere
is,
on that scale.
we weren't like that was not attributed to us.
No.
It was the score was. It doesn't necessarily have to be attributed to you. It's the score and were you known or
Yeah.
seen or whatever. Particularly, certainly, Edwine was seen at the window.
True.
In addition to several other factors, and Ruby sticking her head up to make sure she grabbed the ghost.
Yeah, no, that part. That's right.
I would be tempted to say loud and chaotic, but actually there were bluecoats there at the corner as well. So it's going to be wild and devastating.
We could have played it off that, I was just stopping it. was-
+1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. Specifically, this was a not hostile turf time, even if the turf does count as the ward boss turf. I won't count that one for this because it was a neutral situation.
Oh, we already got a wanted level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then +2 heat if killing was involved.
Hey, we didn't kill.
If killing was involved, I just repeat that
yeah.
bit.
Killing wasn't.
Um,
I'm just joking.
you gain a wanted level. That's all that needs to be said.
But we're at 0
Oh
heat.
my
0 heat.
gosh, you guys.
Someone has to go to jail.
Roric?
Bye, Edwine.
Can we just pay it off?
No.
The only way to get rid of it is to go to jail.
Wanted is like you are too wanted right now to be easily bribed off. Heat you can bribe away. Wanted is just too much. So let's do your entanglement roll. Please roll me your wanted level. Good news is you're rolling on 0 heat. Who wants to roll
Should I
this?
do it?
I think it makes sense,
Yeah.
Ruby. It was your fault. You can roll it.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Roll the wanted level. Click that wanted level button.
Oh yeah, can we
Okay.
send the vultures to prison?
How many dice? No,
If you click
one
wanted
is-
level, it'll do it for you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If it, yeah.
Hmm.
Is that bad?
Yes.
Right, so you suffer 5. Rivals are Unquiet Dead. And I set this up earlier. Unquiet Dead.
Makes some sense.
Rogue Spirit is drawn to you. Perhaps it's a passive victim. Acquire the service as a whisper railjack to attempt to destroy it or banish it or deal with it yourselves. So, at the end of this downtime, the spirit that has been hunting you will find you. It is the spirit of the burned man, the one you left on the barge to burn alive.
Hey, I was not part of that.
You weren't. Congratulations. That's not going to help.
I know.
So, at the end of this downtime, that will happen. You can
Okay.
see this coming. You've felt emanations in the ghost field. You've seen a spirit moving around your territory looking for you.
Okay.
So you can acquire services or whisper to help. You could take it on yourself, Ruby, at the end of this downtime. This would count as probably a few rolls because it's going to be literally a small RP moment. So
Okay.
whether you wish to spend time to get back in shape because you're kind of fucked up right now, or whether you wish to just try and acquire a whisper to do it without having to deal with it yourself, up to you as a team.
Another bottle. Another spirit.
I mean, I think, like, oh yeah. So Marin probably.
I don't think I
knows.
tell them. I think that I know that there's a spirit, and I'm gonna try to put it in a bottle.
I like that. I think that makes so much
I
sense.
think it just makes the most sense for her. She's obsessed.
Okay.
Also, that's her trauma now. She's like, I must collect them all.
Oh, I don't think that goes
It's
forever.
like, fuck, why?
I love those.
I love it. It's going to go
That's
so
her
wrong.
trauma, though. It makes so
No,
much sense.
On the one hand,
too much sense.
I'm like, why? On the other hand, I'm like, this. I could do so many experiments. I'm gonna have an endless supply of ghosts.
Ruby
Oh,
becomes
God.
a ghost type Pokemon trainer.
You can't have
Yeah.
Roric, but you can have the Burning Man, sure. The
Okay.
ghost of
Fine.
Burning Man.
Roric's past his sell by
It's
day.
basically
anyway.
just a bunch of drunk people, like drunk, high, college kids.
Downtime actions. What would you like to do?
So, is anyone not doing a healing roll?
I've only got a bruised rib.
Okay.
I have 2.
By the way, if you did take damage in that score, clear your healing clock. I know
had a
couple of you
healing
have
clock at 3.
Yep.
What'd you say?
That's a-
If anyone took damage in that, you have to clear your healing clock if you've got any on it. I know Edwine had some. I don't know if anyone else did.
I have nothing.
Right, who wants to go first?
I will indulge my vice. I'm going to go. There's no bonus for this, is there? Don't think so.
No.
Anyway, there we go. Ooh, 5.
That's stress
very
clear.
good because
Nice.
it brings me down to 1, which is awesome. I also have 1 spare from calculating, but I can give that to someone else, Ruby. And I think,
You can give
Uh,
that to someone else?
yeah, I
Calculating the
can
spider
give
move.
one of mine to someone else. So.
Awesome. You maybe should give that to Bentham, actually, because he's going to need to heal us.
do
Beth
have-
was
well,
it's-
also very badly injured.
I have
yeah.
6
We're gonna need
stress
to
and
find
every
it.
single injury box filled.
A Physiker, because I don't think Edwine can heal himself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not when you're injured.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
give
you would
give
need
that
to push
extra
yourself to heal
downtime.
yourself.
Yeah, you also take
Oh.
you
But
take
don't do
penalties to using that ability on yourself.
Just use one of your downtimes to go see a physiker. You
You'd
use
have to
the
acquire
extra.
an asset, which means you'd be paying coin.
Oh.
That's the problem when you injure the physica that badly.
Do you have a coin? You have a coin because everyone just got a
I,
coin.
yeah, I do have 1 coin.
Yeah, spend it and use that.
I
Use
was hoping
Josh's
to
extra
spend that for a
downtime.
third downtime action.
I
I
was
guess
going to
if
use.
I'm-
Yeah, I was
It
going
might
to
make
use my
sense to
second
use
one.
team funds to heal the physica. Just saying that, remember,
Yeah,
it's a
that's
group.
fine.
You
Oh
take.
yeah, use the team funds because we have 4. That's a better idea.
Mm-hmm. We can do that.
Sorry, Josh. You're gonna
No,
say what your
that's-
other
No,
downtime
that's
was.
fine. My other. I don't think we have any clocks we're working to, do we?
I honestly think right now you need not to be concentrating on clocks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I can use my second one for anything other I can't heal someone else.
You could acquire an asset with it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
could
you
use that for the Physica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay. Please roll your tier.
Where's the button? There we go. Tier. Can I push for this?
You can spend a coin to bump it up, but honestly, you're better off spending the coin afterwards to bump it up.
Yeah. Okay. That is a 5.
Tier 1 Physica. They'll be rolling
Tier
1
1?
dice.
1 dice. Does that
Could
cost?
bump it up to a critical. Oh no, to a success, which would make it tier 2, right?
Yeah. If you spend 1 coin, it'll make it tier 2.
That's probably a good idea, especially how messed up.
Yeah, spend it
People
from
are.
our group's
All right,
dash.
I spent 1 from the group.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, you can heal yourself if you have the physic or special ability, but you take 2 stress when you do so. So you can heal yourself. You just I don't know if that counts for level 3 though, because with
I
level
think level
3
3 time, you still need to push yourself.
you have to you need help.
You need help.
Ooh, you could
Um,
get could you get the stress and then later indulge?
You can also choose to simply tough it out and attempt to heal with any treatment. Without any treatment, in this case, take 1 stress and roll 0 dice. So that's for anyone.
Yeah. Also, needs help doesn't mean you have to push. Someone else can assist you. So you can still roll on yourself. You take 2 stress whenever you heal yourself, Edwine, because of the physical thing. But someone else can assist you to do a thing. They just take stress in doing it. So you have
So
a
you
Physica.
could do it yourself. You would just take 2 stress to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then because of the needs help, you need to get someone to assist you or push yourself again.
And in that case, I'd be rolling my 2 plus my 1 because of physical, but then minus 1 because of injuries.
Yes.
I
What are your
guess.
2 injuries?
2 injuries. If you mean at tier 2.
Yeah.
You don't need
there's
to push
Kool-Aid
yourself
Man,
though,
there's
because
dazed, but dazed
Dazed
is
goes.
gone, right?
Days goes.
Yeah.
you don't need to push yourself because we got a tier 2 Physica for you.
If we
Sure.
want to do that.
It's tier
We
2.
did just roll it. So the tier 2 Physica can roll now if you want, and that'll be 2 dice.
That's better then, yeah. Then I don't take stress.
Yeah, that just cost you 1 coin. So that'll be a.
How long do we keep him? Does he just make 1 roll and then he leaves?
It's each use.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, so it's a temporary asset. I don't think we need to pay a coin every time.
Oh, I paid to upgrade it.
Yeah, he paid to
tier 2.
upgrade him. It's a temporary asset, so like you might get +1 dice to try and acquire the same asset again, but you do have to keep using it because every time you use it, it goes away because it's temporary.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
because you
that
know
makes
when.
sense.
to
Well,
find
we need a
Physica
lot of
now.
healing, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is a good
Shall
time.
I guess, Edwine, you can use that to roll 2 dice for healing.
Okay. I'll do that.
I just feel bad. Edwine has to use his downtime to heal everyone.
Who has what
5.
damage?
2 boxes?
What?
Who has what damage?
I
have-
1 level 1.
I have 2 harm, level 2 harm. I have 1 level 2 harm
Okay.
and a
Edwine
level
is
1
just
harm.
full
I
of
don't know.
holes.
I have 2 level 1, 1 level 2, 1 level 3.
Also, feel free to mark down on your notes now you found the acquaintance of a Physica that you'll get +1 dice to
You
acquiring
have
a
to spend
Physica.
2 coin.
Huh.
Oh, you make 1 coin to acquire the asset in the first place and then 1 coin to bump it up.
No, it's
Oh,
2 coin per additional tier. You don't have to
Oh.
spend any coin to acquire an asset.
Wow, it's 2
Oh,
coins for
to
additional
upgrade
care.
it.
Oof. Okay.
The GM may set
Oh,
a minimum quality level that must be achieved.
Yeah, minimum quality
And
of
if you
Physicas is
don't, then-
honestly none because like you can get really shitty Physicas.
If you acquire the same asset again, you get +1 die to your roll.
So make a note, by the way, that because if you try and acquire the same Physica again, you will get a +1 dice. But the limit to that is tier 2. You can't go above a tier 2 if you're going to acquire the same asset again. Edwine, do you want to acquire an asset?
I'm thinking.
I don't think so they will stick around for a duration. So they would stick around, I think, during our entire downtime, because this is what it says. Temporary use constitutes one significant period of usage that makes sense for the asset, typically the duration of one score. So in
Okay.
this instance, I think if we got them for this one downtime,
Yeah, no, I'd say for the
they would,
downtime then. So
Come
yeah.
and treat all of us and
Yeah.
then Scarper.
Yeah, they'll be gone
that
after
make
the
sense?
downtime, but you can.
You can have him heal
Okay.
me again.
roll again.
Well, it's yeah. I spent both the coins that we needed, by the way.
Cool.
So I
Okay.
think we have them for this downtime.
Each time you want to roll, you just spend one of your downtime actions, and then they can roll. So you've got 2 actions. Edwine, do you want to just heal yourself using them?
Yeah, because if I heal myself using them, then I can heal everyone else the rest
Yeah.
of the time and maybe do better.
Okay.
Actually, no, I won't do better. I still got -1 die. We're the same either way.
You can
but
spend
I'll
coin
use
to
them
have
again.
additional downtime actions, and then you can do that again if you want. So
And I can give an extra one.
2, so your healing clock fills, everything goes down,
Thank
so you're
God.
down to 2, which is -1 die.
Is there a button for that? That'd be lovely. There's a healing thing. Can I click on that?
Okay.
Ooh.
Oops.
Interesting.
That was the bell. I clicked.
It prints it. Bell prints
Oh,
to.
hang on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
Oh,
healing is
there's actually a healing roll thing. Oh, it's
That
recovery.
makes sense because that's a if you don't
Oh,
do
that
it.
looks
yourself.
cool.
I wish I'd actually rolled that.
Yeah,
Because it was
great.
double sixes.
How did you put that in the chat?
The
I just
bell.
clicked
There's
the
a bell.
healing thing. Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, no, it won't drop it down.
Oh no,
Yeah, it looks like I've
I
just
didn't
got to do
mean
it
to.
manually. Okay.
I meant like how'd you put the harm thing in the chat?
Bell.
The little,
What?
oh, there we go. I have a bruised
Next to
rib.
the healing word, there's a bell.
Next
I
to
guess
heal-
I may as
oh,
well
bell.
do an-
Okay.
Healing if we have access to a physiker.
That's
'Cause I also
cool.
have a tick on my clock.
Well, it might be worth seeing if Edwin can clear his clock, because if he can clear, then he can heal everyone with more dice.
Well, he healed
This
twice,
sheet's
so he
getting
can't.
cooler.
He can heal multiple times, right?
He's already. Well, he could take it. Yes, if you want to spend a coin, you could take an additional
No,
downtime
he healed once
action
with
to heal again.
Papa's spider ability. Healed once with himself. He's still got 1 left.
Papa's spider ability was to acquire the asset.
Ah, okay.
No.
I wasn't. I did 2 downtime actions. I have 1 that I can give to someone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, he could do a third time. You should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Edwin,
I
you
can
should
give it to
totally do that.
Edwine.
Okay,
Heal-
so
Heal again.
Sorry, I lost track.
odds are I won't be able to complete the clock.
but you can spend a
You
coin to
might
take
get a
another action.
critical.
Then I haven't spent any getting rid of my stress, which is also a problem.
You can spend another coin. This is what coins
Well,
for.
that's
Spend
an
I only
alternative.
have so
How
many
much stress
coins.
do you have?
6 right now. It's not the worst, but
You
I
could
can't
indulge your
do
vice
much.
instead.
hmm
But it limits everyone else's healing.
Honestly, I would just say throw a coin at it. It's better than not having anyone else be able to do the healing as effectively.
Let's try the heal. Maybe I'll crit.
Yeah, and you don't have to spend the coin for this. It's
Yeah.
my ability.
2.
4. Okay. So if I spend the coin now, I might be able to get that final healing.
How many segments do you have left?
2.
Who's all healed
I would
up
need to
now?
get another 4 or 5 on 2 dice, which is not terrible odds.
Who's
Put it this
all,
way,
all
if-
healed and how many are they healed?
I'm fine.
Edwine's knocked his stuff down 1. He's debating knocking it down again effectively by spending a coin.
No, Kool-Aid Man was not the temporary one. Dazed was temporary. Kool-Aid Man is what Bentham wrote getting thrown through the wall as.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
future
one ain't
put it
going
down
away
as what it
without
actually
help.
is to not confuse chat, because they are confused when there's a lot of shit going on, which sometimes there can be. What would you like to do, Bentham?
Yeah, I should have printed it before I moved everything down a tier. I'm gonna try the healing. Let's do
Okay.
it. So I'm
Spend
spending
the
a coin.
And get a roll. 6.
Ooh.
Now I get a 6.
Clock's filled.
Okay, so move everything down again. I've now just got shot, but in a
I think
minor
the
way.
1 carries over though, doesn't it? So you end up 1 tick on the clock.
Yep.
So you
Yeah,
got
right.
6. So you have 1 tick on the clock.
Okay,
Just don't take any harm ever again.
Yeah.
and there's where I am now.
Okay.
Just a small bit shot.
Do you wish to
Just a little-
spend a coin to get an additional downtime action to indulge your vice?
I don't have a coin, so
The
it would
group
be from
does.
The group coffers.
I have what?
I can survive without it. I've got 6 stress. I can take a little bit more before things go wrong.
That's fair. I mean, hopefully we're gonna do one of these 2 coin missions. That shouldn't, she says, shouldn't be difficult.
We're gonna get killed on a 2-coin mission.
And we totally are.
Yeah, I'm fine with using group coin for you.
Okay, I'll try it.
Okay.
Spending 1 coin. This had better not be a crappy
Double
roll.
1s. 6.
Nice!
Ooh.
You know
I
what?
completely clear all
You
my
get
stress!
really drunk, and for once,
Nailed
it's
it.
exactly what you needed. You feel so unstressed right now.
Whew.
You don't feel the pain of that shot wound.
Yeah. Okay,
good
make
about
sure you
your
mark
life.
down that you spent those coins. Who would like to go
Oh.
next? And if you would like Edwine to heal you, he can do so at normal.
I mean, I may as well. I have a bruised rib. Marin goes into Edwine and she's like, "It hurts right here." pokes her. It's like she's poking herself in the bruised rib. Ow.
Ow.
Imagine there's also a bit where there's a queue of people at the workshop, and I'm like, no, I'm still sorting out my own bloody. There's a book
You're like
here somewhere.
stitching yourself. Oh, this other physical did a terrible job.
Oh, yeah, it's the shot moving to his face. He's just got a mirror. And he's just like, I'm just dealing with this first.
Look, if you hold still, I can get it out for you. No, stop. I know you are also a doctor, but
after a certain
You're
point,
the worst patient.
after a certain point, while you're queuing outside the workshop, the other physiker comes
I
flying
can't
out the
work
door.
in these conditions. Tell him to deal with it himself in future. Do not contact
No,
me
I
again.
mean literally, he comes flying out of the door.
You look like you were having fun. I need some help.
Oh, come in. I've done everything I bloody can. That's not going away anytime soon, looking at this scar forming on his face.
Your little scar, it's gonna be nice. Yeah. Okay.
It's gonna look pretty cool, really.
Yeah.
Scars are aesthetically pleasing. I had this one, and she like pulls up her shirt, and it's just like this like weird scar like across her torso that she's like, I don't know where this came from.
That looks like you were entirely disemboweled. How did that happen?
It's like a line, but then there's also like are there sucker marks. You're not sure. Are those teeth? Like what was it?
Like you were attacked by every sea creature in the world at the same time.
I don't remember. Anyway, this hurts. Poke, poke, poke. Rib, rib, rib.
Okay, I will make the.
Hurts when I breathe.
Just, ow, ow. It's like, okay, I
Ow.
see, this illustrated the point well.
Ow.
5.
5. That's all I needed. So that's 3 ticks, right? Or is it
2.
only 2? 2. Damn it.
It's yes. It's not enough.
You can spend a coin to upgrade to 3. I'll spend another down to action.
What level of harm is it?
It's only level 1.
Mm,
So I think I'm going to just leave it for now.
yeah.
Mind
Guarantees
that's
that
not
any attempt at healing next time will work. As long as you
I
don't
have the
take
toughest
damage.
nails. So
Oh, yes.
that's why. That's why I'm like, harm is not as bad for me.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna train.
Soaring
Since,
Gale.
like there's no heat. I was gonna get rid of our heat, but there's none of that,
Soaring
and I
Gale.
can't get rid of wanted level without going to jail. Oh
Soaring
no,
Gale.
I think she's gonna work on the Gale. Let's work on my long-term project.
Okay. How would you like to work on this? Totally free, because you can work for Lady Ankiat.
Yeah, I think she probably goes to Lady Ankiat, because I feel like that's also going to lead into her going on the other mission, which is the because obviously Lady Ankiat is one of the 3 people she's going to talk to about selling this map. So she'll kind of go in there to do some small talk, attempted consort with her about the map, but mostly end up just then gets distracted immediately by so what have you by doing a job for her.
Okay. Give it a roll. She'll probably be totally down for you doing some sort of hunt roll or something, and someone she needs to have followed.
Yeah, she goes to follow someone, sends out Naden, and probably just sits in a square, eyes rolled back, with the bird following them throughout the city. All right. Ugh, does not go well for her.
Got 1 tick on the clock.
Okay, one tick. It's fine. I'm halfway through it now. Halfway through.
Okay.
She comes back and she's
You learn halfway through that there have been sightings.
Ghost ship! Ghost ship!
You may rename the clock Ghost Ship if you want.
I mean, I'm gonna add that.
Okay. Papa.
I hang on. I forgot that I wanted to start a clock. But can I start a clock without contributing to it?
What does the ability say?
It says I can contribute to a clock I have, so it's
No.
whether I can make a clock.
No. You would need to contribute to a clock you have, so you'd have had to have started it.
The clock is about something that's already happened. It's not me just
You
entirely
would have
starting
to
something
start the clock.
new. But damn it. I've had empty clocks before. and then started.
Well,
to
now
talk.
your ability is in play, and the exact wording is you can contribute to a clock you have already started. We have to officially go with already started as the terminology. Sorry.
It says distribute amongst long-term project clocks. Presumably, clock would have to exist, but it doesn't say, it doesn't say started as a term. It says during downtime, you get 2 ticks to distribute amongst any long-term project clocks that involve investigation or learning a new formula or design plan.
Oh, that's different then.
Yeah, because that also doesn't mean it has to be your clocks too.
Yeah, that's different wording.
Yeah, seems like. I mean, that's his special, right?
That's the analyst, right?
Yeah.
If you want to, that means you could contribute to Marina's clock.
Oh.
I do also think that would count towards contributing towards, you could start a clock with that. Because starting a clock isn't like an action, it's like you
Yeah, I think
normally do a
because of the
downtime
wording
action
the way it is,
to work on a
I
long-term
think that would
project.
allow you to start on a clock.
Okay. The clock I want to start is... What is Lord Scurlock?
I thought that would be the exact wording. I'm surprised I got it that precisely. Okay, I already had to think about this. You would need to firstly understand a way to understand what Lord Scurlock is. Like, you would need a connection. Unfortunately, you don't know anyone who knows him or know any lore about him, so you need to find something about Lord Scurlock before you could really then investigate him in detail or what he is. So you need to research Lord Scurlock as a clock to then find out what he is.
Right, how many segments would research Lord Scurlock be?
8.
Okay. Also, how the hell do you spell it?
Scurlock. Scurlock.
That is not how I spelled it at all. I spelled it like Sherlock, but with a K instead of an H.
Okay.
I did that, but I did a K instead of a C because I'm like, he sounds eldritch and weird. So you don't have C's when you got a weird name like
long
that.
way back in the family line when they added the last name, they were like, we are going to have a grandson who will be eldritch and weird.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Like you can't have C's; they've got to be K's. You can't have I's; they've got to be Y's. That's how it works when you're magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Papa, you're all done on actions?
I'm all out.
Okay, Ruby. Then let's get weird with our girl. What would you like to do?
So you said I don't have to indulge my vice for this one, but
this
next
downtime
time
you count as already having indulged, so you don't suffer any additional stress. But next time, if you don't, you will take 1 stress.
I definitely need to heal. So whatever I need to do that first.
You go to Edwine and ask him to heal you.
Okay. I go to Edwine.
Edwine, she has horrific burns, and a lot of them are in the shape of the pieces of armor she was wearing.
I have owies.
I'm not surprised you kind of bottled a ghost that didn't want to be bottled. It already broke out of 1 bottle we made for it. Anyway, come here.
She sits. She pops up on the table.
You took
1, 2, 3.
Took 1 on the healing clock. Wow.
Nailed. Can we have that Physiker back? That other guy.
No,
he seems to be better.
You kicked him out, literally.
This is Benthamesque. This isn't Deadwine. That guy was useless. He didn't know what he was doing. He said I shouldn't have been drinking while stitching myself. How am I supposed to numb the pain?
Click, click, click. Do you wish to heal again?
I probably should.
Yeah.
Because the haunted spirit thing is going to be a group thing technically.
Okay, here we go.
6. Tick 3.
Much better.
That fills the clock. All your stuff moves down 1, so your 2 moves to 1, your 1s move to 0, they're gone. That does mean you're still at less effect for anything you do related to physical actions, because you are burned.
Yeah, so I'm still exhausted.
Yeah, so you will be like a -1, not -1, sorry, you'll be a lesser effect for actions.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that then, all of you give me a fortune roll. Everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many dice?
5.
We'll just do a 1 dice fortune roll, so if you 2 can re-roll.
I was like, I realized, wait a minute.
Oh.
I need to put a number in this box.
3.
How many dice? Is
Fail.
it 2?
One.
3.
Oh, 1.
Fail, fail, fail.
5.
Okay, good news, Ruby. You aren't necessarily the one there when it happens. You're nearby. Yes, the Whisper is not there. This is the worst time. You're still in the base, but you're sleeping or in the middle of like just coming up from
I am
sedation.
exhausted,
You are
so-
exhausted, it's true. But Marin, Papa,
I'm
and Edwine.
snuggling with the bottle.
Yep.
My precious.
Marin, Papa, Edwine, you're around the table, going over your future plans and which mission you do. And you may be saying, yes, we should do this 2-coin score because we need to do an easy job. When you smell burning, like a burnt wood with maybe some sort of melted rubbery smell involved. And with that,
Might have left
A
the Bunsen
ghost.
burner going again.
pulls in under the door and appears in front of you. It
Oh, never
is
mind.
nowhere near as powerful as Roric. It is human-sized, a little bit fractious. Smoke comes off it, which seems almost more smoke than the ethereal energy of the ghost you've seen before. And it looks down at you, an inner light appearing, and just seems to like stare at you all before moving forwards. Resist as you would, but please bear in mind that because this is a lower tier ghost and you recently suffered a much higher tier ghost, I'm gonna give you +2 dice to any resist rolls if you wish to choose to do so.
Can I?
You can't yet, but you will soon.
If
because
we
you're-
expend things like special armor or anything like that, will that reset?
those will completely reset. This is a small RP moment, so those would reset. You would have them to use if you wish.
Okay. In which case, then I will expend my special armor for fear.
Okay, bam.
Uh,
Marin steals
and
herself. She's used to
Rin
looking into deep
just
stuff.
like she just blinks. I already killed you once.
Okay, Papa, Edwin.
I'm going to resist this with
Okay.
2 bonus dice.
2 bonus dice.
Same.
No stress.
I just turned to Marin like, you know this fellow.
Clear of stress, Edwine.
Oh yeah, critical.
Oh,
You can't. You're
God
like, this
damn
is
it.
so trippy. It feels so good for to have a little spirits around. Again,
I see
that's
the
so
ghost
good.
come in. I'm like, oh, good, I didn't leave the Bunsen burner on. We're fine.
You know what? Because you did crit and you couldn't remove the stress, and that line was very funny. Take an XP.
Yeah.
With that, the ghost appears
I'm gonna
in
put
front
it in
of you
resolve thematically.
and seems a little surprised that you don't all recoil in fear. How do you react? It's your turn. Go.
Marin shoots it with
Okay.
electroplasmic ammunition.
Okay.
I'm waking up now.
You
Like I
wait
feel
for
like
me.
she just knows she has one of those guns that's loaded with it. She just grabs it and then
Just like Marin's just leaning back in her chair, Ghost comes in. She doesn't even rock slightly. She just hip shoots, just pulls the pistol out and fires from the hip. Like,
oh
bang,
yeah,
bang, bang,
yeah.
bang,
I'm
bang.
like full on
Yeah.
blazing saddles over here.
Papa, Edwine, do you want to get involved? Teamwork, all fire, just blast at this ghost who comes through the door, or what? What do you want to do?
yeah, I'm
Does
going.
mundane combat actually work on ghosts, or does it have to be?
No, I think you have to have something that'll.
You have to have something like electroplasmic ammunition or something similar.
I probably go get Ruby.
Make things. Yeah.
I'm gonna pause because how are consequences being applied in this?
Vaguely as per normal way.
Okay, then I probably don't do that because there's consequences for using electroplasmic ammunition.
Oh, you mean as in entanglements and stuff and whatever?
No, I start a clock every time I use it. Like you
Oh.
tick a clock.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would need to tick a clock because it's still a usage of it.
Okay. So then she just like, I think she just like throws something at whatever door Ruby's in, and it's just like, Ruby, get out here.
I was
Like
just
you
going
hear like a thunk against your door.
to. Ruby! I just strap on a Spirit Bane charm. Like, it doesn't fit my outfit.
In which case, the spirit is going to move forwards and knock the table away and attempt to knock you all over. Please all take level 1 harm unless you wish to resist it. Also, we need better music.
I should read exactly what a Spirit Bane charm does, but yeah, I'll resist that.
You can always
I guess-
use armor.
Yeah, I'll just use armor.
Use my armor.
Oh, yeah.
I would say you're all light load because you're in your base, but provided you're all light load, you can use armor.
Okay.
All right. Armor time.
I'm just still sat in this nice chair. It's one of the newer chairs we got with our extra money. The bit of the table just hits me and dings off.
Now, that's no way to act in someone else's home. I'm going to give
it's the
this...
Spirit Wardens. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a big deal. I'm not
Yeah.
going to use it on a tier one, like this loser.
Yeah. So you will use
I would
armor?
use it on Roric if I think I'm going to die, but like.
True. You will use armor in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Edwine?
Like.
Yeah, I used armor.
Okay. Thank you. Ruby.
I told you it dinged. I'm sat in my chair. I'm smoking my pipe, and it dings off me, and I'm just carry on as I am.
Cool. Ruby. You hear a slight clattering from outside. Not too bad.
The
And you
first,
can
yeah,
hear-
the first sound I hear, I'm like, I don't want to get up yet.
I
There's
will
a ghost
make
for you.
burn for what you did to me.
And then, like my spidey senses tingle, and then I hear Papa yelling, and Ruby immediately gets up, grabs her coat, rips some stuff out of the coat, throws it over her shoulder, and rushes out the door.
Spirit in front of you. In this case, you are a Whisper. And you did suffer a incident with a much more powerful ghost recently. I will not have you roll to resist fear. You can overcome it. It's still there. It's still in your hindbrain, but it's not quite as overpowering because you did recently have a much bigger incident to deal with.
When she walks into the room, just giant grin on her face, and her eyes just look like it's like Christmas Day, and she's like a small child. And there's a million presents under the tree, and she's ready. She's gonna pull out her spirit masks and put it on.
Okay, mark it on your load.
I like to imagine it's like, you know, those like they call like witch doctor style masks. That's what I like to imagine. Yeah. And she pulls out a bottle and grabs her lightning hook, and she's like, "Are you ready for round 2?"
You're kind of so creepy.
them. I will make you burn as well. It moves towards you. You're gonna try and just chuck him in the bottle?
Yeah. She's gonna be like, "I don't even know who you are."
Ruby, make this man leave.
Okay.
See
Ruining
him out,
lunch.
will you? He's ruining the atmosphere.
In this case, how would you like to do it?
What?
How would you like to go about this?
Probably compel it to go into the bottle.
Okay. Feel free to go for your compel then.
What's my position in effect?
Your position is risky, standard, and you get +1 dice because of your really awesome tier equipment compared to the ghost.
I'm gonna push myself as well. And that would make it
Okay.
a great effect.
Sure.
Actually, I'll leave it standard. I'll give myself an extra dice because I probably need that
Sure.
after everything that's happened so far. More chance would probably be.
Oh, sorry.
better.
Higher tier equipment doesn't give you a dice. It gives you a greater effect. Sorry. So higher tier equipment would make you great. So you're already great.
Oh, it would be great already, and then I get the. You're
And
right.
then if you push yourself, you get +1 dice. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
So great standard. Great risky.
Cool. And she's like, I don't even know who you are. Why are you here? Does it say
Okay.
anything?
Oh, I think I killed them.
Does the ghost reply, "You will," and then turn red?
The ghost story said its bit about I will burn you as well. So feel
It's a
free to roll it.
reference.
And then Marin said, "I'm like, oh, that's why he's here. Vengeance. All
Seems
right,
a common
time
ghost
now. Get in the bottle, and we'll see." 2 5s.
5.
Critical 5. I love the
Okay.
difference between this and Roric. We're just like, whatever, you
but then we-
pathetic little.
Now we dealt with Roric twice. It's like, yeah, this is some dude. Just get in the bottle. Stop bothering us. Making the place smell.
With that, Ruby, you compel it. And it seems to resist for but a moment. You dealt with Rock the other day, and while that was completely over your head and you don't fully understand how completely insane that was, to Ruby that was like, yeah, I did it. I'm amazing. Maybe you don't fully grasp how insane that was. And so this, to you, even though it's still a dangerous situation, you find this almost like child's play, and you command the spirit to get in the bottle. And it does so.
She closes the bottle. She just has like this creepy grin on her face.
But
Ooh.
the air gets red hot,
Oh,
and
it's
everyone
not-
takes level 1 harm, which can't be reduced by armor because it's not an armor effect. Burned.
Ooh.
Can we
Uh,
resist?
You may resist with prowess. I would also
I
allow
am
you to resist
going-
with insight by seeing it get hot and seeing the shimmer in the air and allowing yourself to dodge out of the way.
I'm just gonna
Insight,
get burned.
insight.
I'm just gonna take it.
You take level 1
Wait.
harm.
Actually, you said we can't use armor, so
You
yeah,
wouldn't be
I'm
able
just
to use
gonna
armor.
take it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna resist with insight.
Insight, is it?
You
For
can resist with
resisting?
insight. Like if you see the 3D dice are lying to me, that was a 4, you take 2 stress. Because you can see the shimmering air and you know what that means to back away quickly.
Oh, I'm just gonna do it with prowess, and can I cover up? Who hasn't resisted?
Me.
I don't think I can roll a resist, and I've also used my armor.
Yeah, cover up Marin.
Okay.
I'm
going
creepily
to use-
closing the jar and just burning and being like,
Yeah, like your hand is like burning.
I
and
don't.
there's this
I don't
horrible
really want to
singeing.
take trauma for this. So
Yeah,
Okay,
Papa,
yeah,
like,
so-
pushes you to the side while trying to
I
resist.
think I have enough trauma for
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah. Papa is going to use Mastermind to basically tank it for Marin. I
Okay.
will roll prowess.
you like hug her.
I take 1 stress.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
You
have to take
grab
the harm.
Marin and you shield her, turning your back on it, and it burns your back a little bit, but you manage to bundle out the room in time. Ruby, you're not resisting, you're just taking level 1 harm.
No, she's just takes it, smiling.
Then our
Underneath the
session
mask.
closes on the camera right in front of Ruby as you can see her hand singeing, like this acrid smell of burnt flesh, and she's just there going. As she closes the top.
I love it. And then I like the idea that she just turns around her like because her jacket's like just thrown over her shoulder and it whips and she goes back in the door and closes the door.
Yep, nothing happened. Completely normal.
You need some
Edwine
sleep.
is still in his chair, feet up, with his pipe. Sorted.
You would have had to move out the way with the insight to know
Okay,
to move,
fine.
but
I've
you can
rolled
take the
over
chair
behind
with
the
you,
chair.
and then you put the chair somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I run
you
off
straight
with the
you
chair.
straighten the chair and sit back in the same spot. You know, like
Yeah.
you tidying up and you get back into the exact same position.
Oh yeah, now she's got like next to her inside her little trash can because she like sleeps inside a trash bin. She has like 2 jars sitting next to each other and she's sleeping and she's smiling and she's staring at them.
We have quarters now. You can sleep.
I
in
know,
a
but she's
room.
sleeping in. We rolled for it. It's like a legit decent.
Yeah, the trash can is in the quarters. You know.
It was
But-
it was a tier like 1 trash can, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
It's a good trash can.
Why did no one tell me this? Papa is appalled.
Well, Papa finally like washed and mended Marin's shirt.
Look, things happen,
We-
yo.
We're going to have to talk to Ruby about her collection. This is getting out of hand.
You
That's
might
only
say
2,
she's
it's
obsessed
fine.
and traumatized.
It's 1 in each hand. It's not out of hand yet. I can't wait
You might
until
say
Marin
it's a
picks
handful.
up a trauma because hers is right now. Like vicious is a or
Vicious,
haunted, cold. Like there's so many good ones.
Yup.
I just wanted to pick the one that made sense for the situation.
Oh, I love it. No, I think obsessed is perfect.
Oh no, totally. It made complete sense.
Although it's gonna put put me in a lot of danger.
Yeah, it's basically like
Your
the clock has
instinct
started that is Maggie
capture
just
all
dies.
good.
It's not good.
Yeah. But that is definitely going to have an impact on the Warring Crowsfoot, and by that I mean the crows are going to basically be out of it for many turns. And I don't even know what form they'd come back in. That's probably going to come down to a couple of
There
blocks.
are cohorts, obviously.
That's still tier 2 weak.
Oh yeah, Marin, you kill them, and then I'll just put them all in bottles.
Oh my god.
We'll
Do you
have a
wanna
little
change to the
spirit
serial
army.
Killer playbook?
Yeah.
Is there one? I
No.
feel like she's going down that line.
We could custom it.
Marin's not a serial killer. She murders like 3 people.
That is a multiple. You might see that is a serial of killings.
I will point out, in both cases, she did not kill them without them first hurting her or her
Sure, I
companion.
didn't
It's not
say it was
premeditated.
Serial, non-premeditated murder. It was just serial killing.
It's not premeditated yet.
I'm gonna say that Ruby definitely premeditated having Roric kill Liza.
And
I
anyone
saw
nearby.
that going differently in my mind. I'll be honest.
I
That
didn't.
wasn't.
What did
I
you
was,
see? This
I
is
was
the after
thinking
show. We should
Ghost
talk
turned-
about it.
Yeah, this is after
The
show
ghost turns
material.
up, grabs the chair, puts it at the table, and sits down and goes, "So you killed me." Just very calm
well,
conversation.
That's
where
what
they level.
Papa's
Okay.
ghost would do.
Chess piece.
What I was imagining
oh my
was
gosh.
halfway
Can you
between
imagine?
that and murdering Lysa.
Like little chess pieces with souls in them.
No.
I
You're
love
gonna make
it.
an entire chess set. You're gonna get 20. What? How many chess pieces are there? Is it 40?
Depends on if it's one
No,
side.
it's less. It's an 8x8. Less than that. It's a lot of dead bodies.
Oh, not hard to kill people.
Oh god.
Oh, hey, what's his name? He could be my buddy.
Work.
No, the guy who is in the river all the time. What's his name? Your friend.
Oh,
Bentham.
Eckerd.
Eckerd. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay.
What are you doing here? Why do you have ghosts with you? Why have you got two of them?
This one shoots lightning.
This one's too powerful to contain. Bottle cracks.
Oh no. Anyway, that's gonna
Can
be
I double bottle it?
Not
For
how that
safety.
works.
It's not a shopping bag.
Not how that works.
Just get a really large. Just get a vat and put the bottle in the vat.
Bottling ghost farts. That's what you're doing.
Okay, right. Anyway, let's go through who everyone is and where you can catch them. Remember, there's stuff to do, things going up on the Patreon soon, and there's RollCon happening soon. Please RSVP to our meetup and look out for the announcements and stuff about the Star Games and the one-shot. Right, anyway, since you did the stupid, which was great, Ruby, Maggie, who are you? What are you doing when we find you when you're not going to cause yourself level 4 harm?
Hey, I'm just, collecting Ghostymon. I've got a lightning type and I've got a fire type. It's great. Now I just need some other ones,
It's ghost fire, so it's Litwick. My favorite.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
there you go. When I'm not causing chaos, I'm causing chaos in real life. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all the places. I believe it's right here below me. Come say hi. I'm on all of the social platforms, the same name. Tomorrow I'll be playing Warhammer Wrath and Glory. If you're into Warhammer 40k action, it's always a lot of fun and good times. And yeah, I'm doing all kinds of stuff on the internet. Come hang out. Come say hi. I'm also really excited for RollCon. I basically just go into depression afterwards. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure that me and Bentham just go into chicken comas.
Yeah, we just become vegetables.
Maybe they'll kidnap me.
Roll the engagement. 1. Maggie, we're gonna kidnap you.
We're off to do a kidnapping.
Yes, I've got it into your brain. You still need to watch it, but yes. Right, Bentham, what about you then?
And I am Bentham. I have a YouTube channel called Magaport Gaming where sometimes I play games. Recently, there's been 7 Days to Die, more of that on with the Saturday crew. Also did some more Factorio Room World. Some Vulcanoid stuff is happening, videos out of the new update with all the cool new stuff that makes it more of a factory game. And also, I'm probably going to be playing very soon Pray for the Gods, because no one told me that someone was making a spiritual successor to Shadow of the Colossus. Why did nobody tell me? I've got to go play it now, right now.
I feel kind of bad because Steph's been excited about it for so long that I wish you two had just taught. I'm sorry.
I didn't know.
Well, I don't know how you didn't know that.
I even knew that there was a game called Pray for the Gods, but only because Prey was coming out when it was announced, and then Prey sued it because it had Prey in the name. Apparently, you can't have games with Prey in the name anymore.
They're so
Make a game
different though.
called-
One's like a horror game and the other's like an adventure.
I want to make a game
But
called
both
Pray
the
for the
trademarks
Scrolls and
exist
just
in
get
the same
sued.
category. Remember, we've had this issue.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Lauren,
I
what
want to
about
make a
you?
game called Pray for the Scrolls, and then I'll get sued by everyone.
Yeah, do it. Hi, my name is Random Tuesday. You can find me at the internet. That place at Random Tuesday. I make cosplays like Shira. And next weekend, I will not be here because I will be at Geek Girl Con. So if you happen to be in Seattle at Geek Girl Con, come see me as Shira. I'm just going to keep pointing to the stuff that I'm working on. But yeah, otherwise follow me, Twitter, Instagram, Random Tuesday, all those good places, cosplays, games, that stuff.
Have you seen the avant-garde Shira cosplay?
I've seen a few different versions of it, like
I'll send it to you. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Also, yours is amazing too. But yeah, I actually shared your thing with my friend who made the other one, and I was like, oh my god, you guys need to meet each other.
I googled it. I can't find it. I want to see.
Also, I wrote a
Share.
totally not Steven Universe RPG, so you can check that out. It's legally distinct.
Josh, what about you?
Hi. When I am not praying at the altar of Lady Maura, you can find me on Gaming FTL on YouTube and Twitch, or youtube.com/c/strange adventures, where I'm doing lots of vampire stuff. Lots of vampire stuff. And EE is also here.
Thank you. I'm at youtube.com/Elysium playing games like Project Zoo, where I have animals and they're in a zoo, and that's really cool. Also production line making cars, and also Stellaris, where I'm Rocksteady Planets, and it's going well. Just ate some people's. They were tasty. Well, I have the civilization, but now I can eat them. And streaming on twitch.tv/Elysium. Should be having a few more game streams going up soon, and a couple of the series is up on there are probably going to go into hiatus while RockCon's on, because I'm going to be busy with all the conning and the rolling. Yep. Right, let's go through some tips, and then we can do after shows and faction turns. Because you kind of killed the crows.
Just a bit. Just a little bit.
I mean, there were consequences
Just
for you.
a bit. Just a bit of cheer.
I don't think we have any today, but it could be at Stirping. Nope. No, none today. None today. Come on.
We
Nope,
need
not
Shadow of Doskvol chess pieces now.
With real spirits inside them. Perfect.
Yes, with real spirits inside of them, and they move on their own.
Okay, so thank you much for watching. The VOD will be up tomorrow. The VOD for Vampire, The Masquerade, is up now if you wish to go see it on youtube.com/roll for it. And we'll be back, of course, next week with a continuation of Blaze in the Dark, where things are coming to a head and you'll be wanting to do an easy mission and then maybe blow up a building? Who knows? We'll find out. Bye.
I just want more spirits
Bye-bye,
for
everyone.
my spirit
Bye-bye.
collection.
Boom.